take long showers with you assholes.
Ain't you them kids that have been whacking off in my tool shed?
By a bunch of fucking iceholes like yourself.
Yeah, well, listen, you ought to ditch the two geeks in the car with now and get in with us, but that's all right. We'll worry about that later.
Oh, my God. There's 100 morons in my basement.
It's you, Larry.
Lollygaggers. Diamond dogs have struck again.
No, they could be a lot worse.
Why did you kiss my ear? Why are you holding my hand? Where's your other hand? Between two pillows. Those aren't pillows.
4 of us wolves running around the desert together in Las Vegas, looking for strippers and cocaine.
1, 2, 3, Transformers!
Live from Scott's parents' basement, this is the Basement Benchwarmers Podcast.
Happy New Year from the Basement Benchwarmers.
I like that.
Like Frosty, happy birthday. Anyway, we are back. It's 2022. More of the same. The world's gone mad and crazy.
Yeah, I don't know if I can take much more of 2022.
Yeah. I think AB had the right idea. Just fucking, I'm out.
Hey,
check out.
Peace out. It was actually kind of funny. Last week in his press conference, he said, "My life's all about football, but new year, new me."
Yeah. So here we go. How we start usually every week. Ed, what'd you do last week? New Year's, whatever. I don't know.
You know what? It's a new year. I thought you'd go with something different here. You know what? I'm done with this.
Wow, that was awesome.
Peace
Ed,
out, everybody.
Ed just took her shirt off and threw it across the studio, and he pieced out. He A-B'd us. Anyway, so how about you, Jace? What'd you do last week? Anything?
Took a lot of pictures at the American.
Did the
Winter
people
Holiday
you took
Classic.
pictures of know you were taking pictures of them, or was like peeping Tom type stuff?
Yeah, because I got in trouble for that before.
I mean,
They knew.
I think they knew at least.
Okay.
Otherwise, not too much. Hung out with some friends on New Year's, and now we're here.
Okay, Willie.
What the hell did I do? I shoveled a lot of snow yesterday.
Oh yeah,
I shoveled a lot of snow, like
the
twice.
big snowstorm of 2022.
Ooh, yeah.
Remember that, kids. Go ahead, Willie.
Read about bars I don't want to go to in Kenosha anymore.
Yeah.
2022 came in like an asshole.
Right?
Hopefully it leaves like a what's the I don't know.
Taint? I don't know. I don't know. A little milder.
It leaves like an AB.
Oh my god.
So me, same as you guys, basically celebrated New Year. Nothing too crazy. And that's about it. New Year's here, 2022. Yeah, we'll see how it goes. Anyway, on tonight's show, we got a lot to get over tonight. To go over tonight. Last week we had kind of a smaller show, but this week we have a lot. We lost a few people this week. We'll talk about certain individuals.
Do you remember last week? I was like, should we talk about all the people that died in the year? Yeah. Oh man, I screwed that up almost.
Betty White, John Mann, Dan Reeves, and local beat reporter Jeff Dickerson passed away this past week. For people that don't know, he is the Jason Wilde of Chicago, but much better. Or was much better.
Jason Wilde of Milwaukee.
He's the Jason Wilde of Chicago.
Chicago.
Yes,
Okay.
Chicago.
Okay. Oh yeah.
So people that understand.
Gotcha.
But I think it's weird because a lot of people know who Jeff Dickerson is. Not Bear fan or not, they know. And he was a great guy to listen to.
His story's horrible. I mean,
yeah, it's so sad. Yeah, it's so sad. We'll get to that. The Final Four, the college football was a big dud. Georgia, Alabama will meet in the championship. No offense, Willie. Sorry.
Yeah.
I was rooting for. We talked earlier. I was rooting for Michigan. I was. Brady does it again without AB
or Godwin.
We'll talk a little about the MVP talk. Who you think might be the MVP? I know it's tightened up a little bit, possibly. A lot of stuff, good, bad, and the ugly as usual. Eric will be joining us in a minute. He is remotely joining us tonight. He has some things to take care of.
Shining shoes.
Yeah, shining shoes. So let's start with the college football. Let's start with that since and our snake draft tonight will be our favorite sports moments from the past year. Okay, so favorite sports moments, anything you want. Doesn't have to. It can be anything, obviously, anything. And yeah, I can't think of anything else that we are. I think what else is that we can talk about? Anything else? Well, whatever pops up as usual. So let's start with the Final Four: Georgia, in Michigan, Alabama versus Cincinnati. The games were big. They were not very good games from start to finish. Alabama just ran the ball up and down the field on Cincinnati, and it was just like Michigan's never getting sync. I think they went for on a 4th down early, and I think that I don't like that. I don't like that. They changed momentum of the game. They should have punted there. Let the defense take a breath, see if they can stop on a big field. Game was short field. They scored right away, made it 14-0, and I think that was the end of Michigan early in the game. Great season for Michigan though, and also Cincinnati. Congratulations to them. But we see Georgia, Alabama. The SEC will be fighting out for a title.
The SEC Bowl.
Yeah, the SEC Bowl. Basically, it's the rematch of things. So anything you guys see, anything you guys let's go there. Any comments on the games and who do you think's going to win that game and what do you think is going to be like?
The only comment I want to say, because I missed both games because they're on ESPN, so I was kind of watching them on my phone. But I saw like a quote, and I don't know if it's on Twitter or whatever. It mentioned, well, at least Georgia proved that they belonged in these Final Four games, and I'm like, weren't they the best team in college football, like blowing everybody out the whole year until the last game?
They were too.
And then they're like, well, they showed they belong there. It's like they probably should have been number 1.
Yeah, that's the problem. Yeah. So
I mean, who did Georgia lost to Alabama? That was their one loss, and then who did Alabama lose? They lost to Texas
Tech or A&M.
A&M, one of them.
Yeah.
A&M.
Yeah.
Michigan lost to State.
Yeah, and that's
and Cincinnati was the only undefeated team.
Yeah.
All legit losses,
Oh yeah, they are. Every team had a legit law. Michigan State beat a couple teams this year. Good. Didn't they beat Iowa also?
I believe so.
Yeah. So, it was weird. Iowa and who's the other team that was ranked pretty high for a while? Iowa lost their bowl game, and Penn State both lost their bowl game. And Penn State they lost to Arkansas, correct? 24-10 or something.
Yeah.
They got beat up pretty good.
Yeah, they look terrible out there. I don't know if they had guys that
they might have guys opted out. Yeah, that's
opted out,
possible. Which that's another. What do
you guys think about that opting out stuff now? There was a big controversy about who said that?
Kurt Herbstreit.
Herbstreit.
Yeah.
So they just don't have the heart anymore or something.
Oh, actually, I got a little thing on this. So you know what happened to the Ole Miss quarterback, who is a highly looked upon NFL prospect, potential first round pick. Matt Corral just had his leg rolled up on and needed helped off by the trainers, and he got carted to the locker room. Perfect example is why players should opt out of bowl games.
Well, the flip example is it was a sprained ankle. He's gonna be drafted in the first round still.
Okay.
Yeah, and you could say
that's what they said today.
Then should they opt out of their whole senior year?
I don't.
Why take a risk?
What the thing is
go to class and do your math.
Yeah, they for the whole, and it's only the 0.1% or 0.3, whatever it is, that go from college to pros. There's a very small percentage, obviously.
Well, you solve this. Don't have a bunch of stupid bowl games. Only play the top 20 teams or something.
That's what it is, and I think they're starting. They'll never change it, but
ones that actually matter.
The best players, these same guys that want to be paid are going to be paid. They're using the system just like they're saying they're being used. The system being used. They're using the college football as their minor league system, which college football has got to hate. Yeah. And the problem with that is that nothing you can do about it. But I saw a video the other day, and remember Byron Leftwich had to be carried down the field with his leg was broke, I think, in playing that bowl game or championship game. He was still drafted in the first round, still had a decent NFL career. He's a coach now. I mean, now could it be? But I mean, he still was out. He could have just walked out the field and said, "Yeah, I'm not doing this. I'm done. I need to be prepared." And I mean, he did. And I had a different time. I get it, but it's the thinking's different. I mean, the mindset. It's the mindset of the country basically. It's like I gotta
me.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's the thing. And I mean, these your teammates and the other 60 guys that aren't going pro. You basically leave them out. Their chance to have that one last minute of glory may be taken away because if it's a quarterback, it hurts your team. If it's your best offensive lineman, best running back, they decide.
As an NFL team, I know they'll draft a guy that just punched a woman in the face, but wouldn't you kind of look at it? Wouldn't it be a negative that this guy's backed up? Because a player. I don't know if you guys saw this, but over the weekend, a player just walked off the field, and just gave up on his team on their march to the 18th straight Super Bowl for Tom Brady or whatever it is. But, does that not factor into your draft when you're looking at this guy and go, well, he didn't even play in his last game because he just gave up on his team?
Yeah.
I mean, if I'm a GM or what, he'd have to have outstanding talent to just overlook that.
Well, these are
It's
young
a
kids,
character,
gotta think.
but it's a character thing.
Christian McCaffrey was probably the one that started this all. I mean, if you
Yeah.
think about it, right? When he's back with Stanford years ago.
Lucky he saved all his injuries for the pros.
Yeah, I know.
So he's getting paid.
But he got his money though.
He's
He
getting
did.
paid to
got
be
paid.
injured.
Yeah, it's easier to be hurt, you know. But yeah, I I
I
understand.
could see a running back, but a quarterback's not going to get a
Yeah, and
major
Corral was
injury.
bad luck, and it was a bad ankle. That's all they say. It's just an ankle now, and it could have. And even if it's, I mean, for a quarterback, he wasn't. Corral's not a running quarterback anyway. He's a mobile quarterback, but he's not a guy that's running or anything like that. So
Pocket passer.
How many quarterbacks in the history of all the bowl games have got a rotator cuff injury in that game to knock them out of an NFL position? Probably zero.
yeah,
Real close.
yeah. So I don't.
I'm just guessing.
Yeah, I don't know. It's the weird thing about it is that. Yeah, I don't know. There's really I get it. I get it 100%. But for
Yeah.
me, I'm not in this situation. I've never been a 5-star athlete or obviously surprising. You
One
guys-
and a half, maybe.
But I've never been in a situation where if it's going to affect my earning power the next day, then I'm probably not going to do it. But you have no for sure it's going to affect your earning power. There's I mean, look at Willis McGahee is a perfect example of this.
McGahee's
His
one.
knee exploded, and he had a pretty good pro career after
Yeah.
he got
Right.
someone drafted him, let him rehab, and took him in. So if your talent's good enough, they're going to still take a chance. And nowadays, and back then, they still were cup of coming. Now the surgery and stuff, they can make you into a bionic man now. So that was before it got even better. So it's crazy.
And Notre Dame had that one kid.
The defensive
I
lineman.
mean, he was with the Cowboys now, right?
Yes, yeah. So they
But I think what happens sometimes is that you're going from the first round to the second round. That's less money, correct?
Mhm,
For some of these guys, you know.
But nowadays,
top
everything
10, bottom 10.
everything's so slotted. I mean, it's not
Yeah.
that
Yeah, and I mean,
top 10 maybe, but
yeah, and there's still you still got
how many top 10 guys opted out that are going to go in the top 10?
the guy from Oregon did. The big defensive lineman that I
So
believe.
one?
I don't know. I'd have to see the list. I could tell you for sure. Well,
So a couple probably.
But you know, some of these guys, it's generational money for their families. that
yeah,
they're going to make.
Well,
here.
it's general rush money for anybody.
Well, yeah, I mean,
Not many guys, unless you're a Manning,
right?
unless you're Cooper Man or Manning's kid who's going to be there. Maybe a couple years might get drafted. If he doesn't make the pros, Manning's going to be okay the rest of his life. Oh, the kid from
Bosa's, they're
Bosa's.
fine.
Well, they got there because of them.
The Watts.
But you look at the kid
Yeah.
from Wisconsin who went pro and he had concussion. He quit like a year after he was great.
Yeah,
the lineman.
Borland.
Yeah, his family. He had a backup plan. He graduated. His family had a business or a lawyer or something. He
Yeah.
had stuff he could do, but it still doesn't matter. No, whatever
That's the
job.
point of college. You're
whatever-
going to get a
But whatever job you're going to, you're not going to make the same amount of money as a football player in that short amount of time.
in the short amount of time.
Yeah. Now in your lifetime,
I'm going to guess there's a lot of first round picks that aren't going to make as much as some of these guys that are just like Borland
Oh yeah, yeah. Well,
because they got all their money in a 4-year
Yeah.
period or 3-year period.
yeah.
Actually, I just saw Jacksonville. Their last 10 years, they've only had one season under 10 losses. 4 of their top 10 picks didn't make it through their rookie contract. That's some pretty bad picks.
Tony Gagliardo said that Montana had 102 temp in the Cotton Bowl and still played in one.
Yeah.
So I mean,
It was a different time. too.
different times.
If you have 102 temperature now, you're not doing nothing for 2 weeks.
Good point.
I don't know. I don't. To me, it's either way. It goes either way. I mean, I could see both sides of this one.
Yeah, I don't. I'm not big enough college football fan. I like watching college football.
Yeah.
I'm a fan. Wisconsin is good. That's great. I'm a huge. I'm a college football fan in the aspect of watching it. So to me, if the best player on the Badgers opted out and they lost a bowl game, even was a national championship, it would suck. But it's still one of those things. But I get it. And the sport is a little more. And I get it. 20 years ago, we're talking apples and oranges because the speed of the game is way different.
Yeah.
And your injuries are way more substantial, possibly just because of the way they're hitting each other. And I mean, you get a concussion. You get a concussion in a game, you could be labeled that guy. And I don't know if
When's the last time like a wide receiver got hit in the head and it did major damage?
Yeah. Let's talk about that. So yesterday, if nobody's heard, this past weekend, Antonio Brown in the middle of the game, took off his jersey, his pads, his shirt, gloves, ran off the field in New York as he's doing, well, not really, but doing a jumping jack motion to the end zone while the plays are going, while the game is being played on the opposite end of the field, and pieced out and he ran off the field, got an Uber after. There's pictures. The driver is online with him in the back seat. And now the story comes out today. People are starting to defend him by a little bit because Bruce Arians asked him to go in the game. He said no because his ankle was injured. And then he said, no, you got to get in the game. And then I guess Arians said, well, you got to get out then. Arians doesn't say there was an injury, but there's people saying there was an injury. Okay. I'm going to tell you right now. Okay. This is going to become either Antonio Brown's going to tell the truth or it's going to be a problem for the NFL. Because if they're telling players to go play on certain injuries, and here's the thing though, a lot of guys in NFL, 95% of guys in NFL, 99% will go in the game and play for their team when they're down by 14, and you have a chance to be home field advantage still. You don't know what's going to happen in the Packers. You have no idea. And Rob Gronkowski was the best. He had the best answer of all when they asked him. They asked Rob Gronkowski, "What'd you think? What happened?" And blah blah blah. I don't know. I was too busy banging my head against our 300-pound lineman when he did it. So Gronkowski, I mean, I understand what he's saying. It is what it is. Maybe he's just like, none of my whatever. I just don't know. Bruce Arians is an old school guy. And he also said, as a famous quote from him too, that he's told his teams many a times and coaches, if you have a family thing to go to, you go to it. We'll make it work. We'll figure it out. So I don't think he's this evil guy. And I don't think he's this, I have a feeling he's going to take a lot of flack for this, but I have a feeling he's not, because guys like Brady and stuff are there. And what you're doing now is you're messing with Tom Brady's chance of winning again. Okay.
Right.
And they came back. I'm going to tell you right now, no other quarterback in the NFL would have came back in that game yesterday, probably, with all the shit going on. There is no way. I mean, maybe Rodgers could have fought him through, or, but it's tough to find a guy that just they tune everything. I guarantee Rodgers had a lot to do with that. Brady had a lot to do with that, with them focusing everything out and getting in the game. Because they played terrible in that game and they still won.
Right.
With a guy with having a huge thing happen. I was sitting there going, when that happened, I go, yeah, this game's over. Tampa Bay's lost this game. I thought they're done. They're going to win this game. Down by 14. Midway through the third quarter, this is happening now. Your silence is, you have Mike Evans and OJ Howard trying to, and it is the problem. You have two grown men trying to coddle another grown man to stay here and stay with us, play. And then he still does it. It's
they're giving you millions to stay here.
I still believe that. I don't know how it works in the NFL, but if he just went and sat on the bench, this would be a no talk. And Arians trying to put him in a game. He missed out on $1 million on bonuses now, too. He needed like 5 more catches, 50 more yards, and then 1 touchdown or something like that to get 333 on each of those tiers. We made $999,999 extra this year. $1 million is a lot.
You could have paid his chef then.
Yeah, there you go. Or got another card.
Right.
But I don't know. What do you guys think about the whole thing? The CTE thing came out today. And I'm like, this guy's been like this for a while. And I got hit by Burfict. He was like this before Burfict hit him. Don't blame one hit years ago on this. I still think he's just a guy who doesn't, he just doesn't like something. He just doesn't want to do it. And he thinks that oh yeah, there he is. Okay, so we're going to keep talking. Can you hear us, Eric? Wave, you can hear us. Oh, he can hear us. Okay. Let's see what happens. I'm going to bring Eric in. Eric's here with us tonight. Let's pop him in.
Hey.
How's it going?
Good. Can you guys hear me?
No.
For real?
No, we can hear you.
You want to talk really loud and use your hands.
Can you guys keep it down, though? I'm trying to listen to Eli and Peyton.
Yeah.
It's Eli's birthday today.
I see that.
Okay, so we were just talking about, we're going to go around. Ed was going to start here about Antonio Brown and his shenanigans yesterday in New York. So, Ed, what's your take on it? We'll go around.
If that takes correct, if Arians was forcing him to go on a game like he did with Brady with his bad knee to win a Super Bowl last year.
Yeah, because I'm sure
he should be, seriously, he should be fired.
Do you think he forced Brady on the field?
No. He didn't force him to get drunk and throw that trophy across the boat either.
But I guarantee you, Brady decided he didn't want to play. He wanted to take off his jersey and walk off the field.
That's right. That's a different. Antonio Brown's not a grown man.
He
looks like one. He's ripped.
I just think this story stinks to high heaven because I do not believe in the NFL nowadays they're going to force a guy to go on the field if he says he's injured. I think he didn't like what was going on in the game. I don't think he liked the way he was being used, and he was like, "I'm pissed.
It's all about me."
And he was mad about his money not coming. And he's like, I need, in his head, he knows what he needs. I need to get some more catches. And went to Arian and probably said, Arian, hey, give me. And Arian probably looked at him and said, you know what? No, we're going to play within the context of the game. And I think that's what happened. There is no way in the NFL nowadays. And if it comes out, I'm wrong. I'm totally wrong. And I've been wrong many a times. But there is no way in the NFL that they're going to allow a guy to go on the field. And you know what? His ankle was so bad. Those jumping jacks look easy going running out the field. He went he was in his nice tight shoes he's wearing waiting for the Uber. These slim loafers he's wearing that on a bad ankle. I'm guessing. But he looked fine. Didn't get no rap or nothing. He looked great. He wasn't in pain in the back of the Uber. This is typical. And anybody out there backing this guy up and saying, you're nuts. You're crazy. You're insane. He did this because he's Antonio Brown. And that's why he did it.
Oh, he needs tons of help. He needs tons.
He does. He does need something.
He does help.
There's something wrong with the guy. Totally. There's something wrong with the guy.
Whatever. I'm
really
not going to worry about it.
Terrell Owens, they compared Terrell Owens. And Terrell Owens popped on and says, no. I was never like that.
Brandon Marshall's like, you take that back.
I think Terrell Owens said, you take that back. Because even Terrell Owens, I wasn't that crazy. Terrell Owens was smart crazy. Yeah. He knew what he was doing.
Well, so is Brandon Marshall.
Yeah, they were smart crazy. Now, this is a different level.
Yeah. You know what? I'm not even worried about Antonio Brown. He's a millionaire. He's got this huge support system. Mm-hmm. That's not what keeps me up at night. You know what I'm worried about? World leaders who poop their pants in meetings. That's the shit that worries me. Some guy running around on the field because he's got too much money and needs one more catch to get his $1 million. I don't give a shit. Really, he's got a chance he can get stuff fixed.
So what do you think, Willie, about this whole situation?
Well, I think you can't negotiate with crazy. So I mean, it's very hard to do that.
That's a good point. Yeah.
Yeah, didn't I send an email or a text like that? It was like, he might be crazy and need help, but if you told him that, he'd say you're wrong. So it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
he's got a history that follows him, and I think you just have to look at it this way. I mean, I
got Eric on the big screen for you guys now.
Oh boy, you need to trim that nose hair, buddy. There you go.
Well, there goes our other listener.
Why is he dressed like Bingo?
I wish he was dressed like that Chinese lady that flips the dishes.
Oh, she's awesome. Yeah, I tell you, she's great. I was so excited when I sent those videos to you that night.
You sent me, and I'm like, oh, I wish I was there.
She was so good, too. Eric, what do you think about Antonio Brown?
Well, I would have loved to have seen him jump in the stands. That would have been awesome.
Hold on. Your voice has gone all of a sudden on us. Hold on.
Yeah, so I don't know. This is stupid. I can't believe we have to talk about this.
Why don't you be like Garrett Morris?
It's fodder for all the shows and everything this week, but it's absolutely asinine.
Okay.
Do you remember anything like this?
Eric, go ahead. Try.
I would have loved to have seen him jump in the stands instead of just doing
Lambo.
That would have been incredible. That would have been the greatest send-off ever.
And watch the game from there.
Have him crowd surf to the upper deck.
And and sit and chill and watch the game. Have some popcorn. I think everybody goes back to the hit that he took, the Burfict or whatever, the concussion that he had, and he's never been the same since. Well, the guy was a diva before that, and I think
before you came on, we agreed on something, Eric. Before you came on, same exact thing. He was nuts before. I mean,
I get the CTE thing, but he was kind of a crazy person before that. So it's hard to respect the guy, and he should be a Hall of Famer, but he's probably not going to be a Hall of Famer because there's more to being a Hall of Famer than just great play. I mean, it's disrespectful to the game, really. It's disrespectful to his team. I don't know. Whatever the situation was with him being hurt, or he didn't look like he was hurt. So I don't read too much into that.
Yeah, here's the thing. He had a few catch that game, and I understand the difference. But if you have a sprained ankle and you just can't play, even if you go out there and be a decoy, that helps your team. It helps. Yeah. It helps a little bit. Hey, just run a couple outs. Run a couple jogging flies for us just to get some pressure off, get the safety off so we can get Gronk down the middle or something, stuff like that. But he doesn't want to do that. And that's why he left. He was asked to probably open up some space. It wasn't working what their original game plan was. They wanted to use him in a different way, and he didn't like it. I'm telling you right now, he did not like the way they want to use him the rest of the game. I'm telling you right now.
I also don't understand why they were talking about how he had some bonuses that he was trying to achieve, and it was like $333,000 that he could get if he got to a certain number of catches. Well, am I wrong? Don't you get a bonus for winning the Super Bowl?
Yeah, it was $1 million total. He was like 6 or 7 catches short, or 5 or 6, like 60 yards short in receptions and like 1 touchdown. If you did,
it was like a half.
Each one of those was 333, 333. So each one he could have tiered up to almost. If you hit all of them, it's $1 million. But each one was 333, 333.
And they were very attainable goals. He could have got them in a half of football.
Yeah, with Godwin out,
it was like 5. It was like 550 and like a touchdown.
Well, and the thing about it too, if he wins under a Super Bowl and he's a good boy, he plays the role for 2 years in a row now. Maybe he gets a 2-year deal for $15 million from someone next year, or $20 million. He can screw them over. I don't know.
Yeah, be a team player and get your bonuses for winning playoff games in the Super Bowl, and then cash in free agency. That's the other part that I didn't understand, why he would be whining about that. So I don't know. It's disrespectful to the game.
Yeah, I didn't like it. I wasn't a fan of it. I think it was crazy. I think it's
he should have opted out. Would have been better.
Yeah,
Jesus, Eric gave you COVID through the screen.
So the thing I will say though in that game, Brady did it again. A minute and a half, minute 40 left, no timeouts, 96 yards, 95 yards, whatever the hell it was. Although the Jets could have kicked a field goal there and made the game a tie, but I give the Jets credit. I understand they got going nowhere. Let's just try beating this team and be done. Yeah. But I Brady did it again, shorthanded. I still think they're too shorthanded to finish what they want to do this year. But once again, until Brady is done, it's hard to say no to him. But I just don't think they're going to be able to this year. But we will see. I'm still going to sit with my saying the AFC is better than the NFC, hands down, just by what happened this past weekend. Again, the Baltimore Ravens took the Rams to the end of the game. I mean, a team that's not even make the playoffs, possibly, they played the best teams in the league and they've been right there. And I mean, it's crazy. I don't know. It's just, I think the AFC is really good, but
tell it to the Colts.
Yeah. The Colts. Yeah, I'm a Colts fan still. I still think they're a team that can do it. They just had a poor game yesterday. First game this year, Jonathan Taylor rushed for 100 yards and they did not win.
Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So it was 9-0 when you, and back to Brady, it was his 53rd career game-winning drive.
And he went back-to-back 40 touchdowns for the first time in his career. He's at 4,900 yards passing right now.
How old is this dude again?
Are you serious?
Yeah.
44.
It's kind of crazy. He's not an MVP. They kind of push him aside in the MVP talk because he's still an MVP.
He's still up there. He's still up there.
But the guy, let's talk about MVPs real quick. Obviously, I think Taylor lost a little shine yesterday just because they lost, but he still ran for 100 yards. He's still going to be up there in numbers. I think he took the Edgerrin James' record for the Colts yesterday. I know Rodgers is always obviously in there. Cooper Kupp won't win, but I think he should be in there. But a guy right now who's played really well in a bunch of must-win games, very must-win. This team wasn't in the playoffs a couple weeks ago. Now they've been Joe Burrow.
I know it. Yeah,
it's insane, and it's insane what they're doing. I understand he's got T. Higgins and Jamar Chase, but those are drafted players. They built the team there. They built this.
They built it around him.
They did. Well, T. Higgins was there first.
Wow.
But I don't know. I don't watch, but Joe Burrow. I mean, he is. I think he's the next best thing. I really do at this point. It's tough. I mean, you got a lot of guys out there, but he's not like Lamar Jackson. He's not like these guys that run around. He's a quarterback. He throws the ball from the pocket, and he throws the ball from the pocket well. And the Bengals are a team in the next few years that if they keep on this course and build like they keep building, and the coaching seems like they got it right, they beat a good team down by 14 yesterday. Yeah. I mean, I know they're home.
A team that's been in 2 straight Super Bowls.
Yeah. This ain't a slouch team they beat, and they came back. Bengals are.
It's one of the hottest teams in football they beat.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they're mad because remember draft night, Jamar Chase, they need line.
I said that. I said Penny Sewell.
Penny Sewell, right?
Yeah, but we all said that.
It worked. I mean, Jamar Chase is really good.
Looks like a generational talent.
Although he wasn't good when I needed him in the fantasy playoffs, but he scored 60 yesterday for me. I got high points yesterday, though. That's about it.
Was there? None of us were in the fantasy championship. Me and Scott both got knocked out in multiple leagues the week before.
I was in it.
You were?
Yeah. I was in one. Yeah, I was in one yesterday.
You were in one yesterday,
and I lost.
How about you, Eric?
How many weird players?
Hi, Eric.
Any fantasy championships, Eric?
Not yet.
Not yet. When's your league end? Next year?
You're in the same league with me in Pete's league.
Oh, now how many teams make the playoffs in that league?
8.
8 or 12?
8.
Oh, only 8.
Only 8 out of the 16.
I think I'm in no matter what, though.
You're in second place.
I lost this week, though. So.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
If Najee Harris doesn't score 2 touchdowns, I'll win. I'll be in like fifth place probably. So,
how many guys just Chase Kamada? He's had some good weeks, but a huge day. Penny from Seattle, huge game, which he's been garbage. He actually won a lot of people a fantasy championship.
He actually played good the week before I had him in a league. Yeah.
Of course, I had Chris Carson and he went down, and that's the replacement.
Yeah.
But who else was there? Burrows, if you're playing him, he's had like multiple.
That's what I played this week.
He's had 9. Is that right? 9 touchdowns and almost 1,000 yards in the last 2 games?
2 weeks.
He's had over. Well, you remember what he did against the Pittsburgh last week? He had like
563 last week.
So your fantasy MVP right now would be Joe Burrow.
He's thrown for 1,000, and it depends on your league scores. It could be Cooper Kupp.
Yeah, he's had
Cooper Kupp may have more points because of points per catch.
Yeah,
and all that, and Jonathan Taylor might be even more points too, just because he's got 18 touchdowns and 1,800 yards.
No, I'm saying in your playoffs. MVP.
Oh, in playoffs, yeah, it'd be Kupp, but yeah, Joe Burrow would be number one. If you got Joe Burrow, you won.
Other one,
if you made the playoffs with Joe Burrow, you won your league.
I was going to say Penny too, like you said, 2 straight weeks. Guys that have the last 2 weeks just dominated.
Yeah. Well, another guy you're forgetting is Damian Harris. Last week had 3 touchdowns and he had 2 this week.
And then he got benched, and Richard, the other dude, had 2 or 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, Shamande or Stevenson.
Yeah.
Did he get benched because he did something wrong, or did he just kind of?
No, just because he had like 75 points.
Yeah,
but Stevenson's going to be a force. Yeah. He's been solid when he's got the ball.
And his hammy was a little tight.
Damian Harris.
Yeah.
You got to rest guys.
That team can move the. I mean, are we still talking football?
Yeah.
How about Mac Jones beating up on Trevor Lawrence? I know they're on 2 completely different teams, but
that's
I know
that's not a fair comparison.
I know
who's coaching that team down there in Jacksonville?
It's Daryl Bevel.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he took over. So let's okay. So we're talking about, let's go to good, bad, and ugly because it gives us top all the time.
I got
something. So I'm gonna do this for all of us because unless you have a real good ugly, I'm gonna make the group ugly Antonio Brown. It's pretty simple.
Agreed. Yeah,
Antonio Brown. You can have another one, but let's just say Antonio Brown's.
We'll throw that out.
Antonio Brown's the ugly for sure. No matter what the situation is, it's still ugly. It's still not a good look for anything.
Yeah, I mean, I think another guy could have shot somebody this week, and it would still be Antonio Brown.
What were you gonna say, Jason?
I can add to that. He's actually in New York, sitting courtside.
Who is
Antonio Brown? Nets Grizzlies courtside.
He released a rap song today too.
Oh yeah, he released a diss track.
Yeah. What do you call it?
It's a diss track.
He released a 45 or an 8 track.
It dropped. He dropped a single.
He dropped some heat.
Is
today.
that a thing? Like still, they just put it on YouTube now or what?
YouTube.
All right, let's go. Good, bad, and ugly.
Okay.
They used to drop 8 tracks.
Chung chung.
You drop them, they break, and the tape would all come out of them, so you couldn't drop.
Break your foot.
Okay, so Willie, you start with let's go. We'll do ugly anyway. Let's start with the ugly. Ugly Willie.
Well, you already said
ugly Willie. I said
ugly Willie. We were talking. Here's just one thing about the Antonio Brown thing. I hate the fact that Brady put his good name on the line for this guy.
Yep.
AB. He went out there and he said all the right things, and let's get this guy going. I feel bad, about
still
that, because you never want to put you.
It's not as bad as Aaron Rodgers putting his name on the line for Ryan Braun.
If my other ugly would be how COVID's affecting the fantasy playoffs.
Yeah,
people.
Yeah,
it's a mess.
It was tough.
I mean, look, you were like,
I got nobody. I'm down to like -1 running backs right now. Actually, I had the mascot out there.
Eric, you got an ugly?
I'll just stick with Antonio Brown. I mean, there's nothing even close to that.
Okay.
Jace, you got one?
Yep. Raiders rookie cornerback Nate Hobbs was arrested early this morning on account of misdemeanor DUI. Witnesses saw him asleep at the wheel on a parking lot exit ramp.
He fell asleep in a car.
Yeah, but that's like their 4th one.
That's just Raiders crime.
Here's the problem: is it's in Vegas.
They always knew Vegas was going to be a problem. That's why they didn't want teams there.
At 4 a.m. It was too.
Yeah.
4 a.m.
Nothing good happens at 4 a.m.
No.
Ask them people at
Yeah.
Coins.
What's your ugly?
I'm going back to Trevor Lawrence. 3 more picks. He leads the NFL in picks, and he's on 17 picks, 10 touchdowns now.
Since November, 2 touchdowns, 8 interceptions.
Yeah, he's struggled. I mean, I understand he's on the worst team in football, arguably. No coach. It's tough though. I mean, he doesn't look good. I mean, I don't know what else.
Can
to
I be
say.
interested? Like, see Trevor Lawrence if you put him on like the Giants,
Right?
The Giants can run the ball. They got some receivers. They play defense a
Yeah.
little bit. I mean,
Remember the Giants when they started the year? They had like 7 receivers that were all legit, and you're like, wow. Now they're on the Kenny Galladay, and I think Antonio Brown's second on their list. he's courtside there now.
my ugly is I had one, the college football Final Four we talked about earlier. Just not in the 2 games were they weren't good.
That's why you need what? They want to push it up to 12 teams.
Yeah, what the heck? Instead of having all these extra bowl games, let's have extra bowl
Cut the
games like
season
that.
by 1 game, or
Make it
make
it mean something for these kids wanting to.
instead of playing Middle Tennessee State, play an extra game if you want to be a part of the ball. Although it helps those small schools, they'll make a few
Make
bucks.
some
Yeah,
bucks,
but-
like Central Michigan.
Could
did.
you do something though, like take the top 12 teams, put them right into this bowl thing, and then take the any team that didn't make it and just kind of throw games together? Like,
I think it should be top like 8.
pick them out of a hat.
Top 8's good, right? 2. Yeah, 8's good. It's 2 extra
Well,
weeks.
what's the NFL playoffs? 8, right? Now it's 8, I believe.
It's 7.
7.
How about this? You take all the teams that didn't make it, so they get their extra game, maybe shorten the season by 1 game because you're going to have a longer playoff. Every team's ball goes in a hat, and they pick them out for that last week to see who plays each other.
Ah.
So it's like Carthage against Clemson.
Yikes!
Clemson's playing at Carthage.
It'd be
Yeah,
fun.
at
It'd be
Carthage.
fun as shit. Yeah, and then
I
you
would
pick
go.
away.
Eric, we in? We're gonna go see the game then.
Yeah, I'm in for sure.
It'd be fun as
Hey
shit.
guys, I got Carthage Clemson tickets.
Benchwarmer's actually broadcasting it.
Get there early. It'll be done pretty quick.
Yeah, we're broadcasting that game. That's awesome.
Willie, bad.
Bad. I'm going to go with the FedEx Field. The stands collapsing almost on Jalen Hurts.
Yeah.
Did you see the one guy just took a digger, just boom, and he sat there for a few seconds, and Jalen got up there, and the guy looked and said, "Oh, it's Jalen." He got right back up. He probably had a broken shoulder and everything like that.
What the hell was this?
The stands fell open and they fell off when they were waiting by the tunnel.
Right.
During the game
like
or
in
after the-
Chicago, it's like actually cement and stuff.
Right.
You can never, unless you jumped over. No, that's like a railing, like a height, and it just opened and broke.
And people fell over the edge.
Like 8 guys were like hanging on this thing.
Jesus. What the hell?
Do you see that bald guy just kind of hit hard? He's down for a second, and Jalen go, "Come on, man, you get up."
Everybody gets an autograph. Let's go.
And he did. He was high-fiving them all.
Hey, that guy fell like 5 feet and he got up and kept playing.
Yeah. Sore ankle.
He tailgated after.
Bruce Arians like, get back in the freaking stands. Okay, sir.
Eric, you're bad.
My bad is the defensive side of the ball in the Rose Bowl. For both teams.
Oh, yeah.
Like, come on. I mean, those coordinators got some splaining to do. Ridiculous.
Much like
Record breaking game. And I mean, Utah's offense looked great until their quarterback got hurt.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
You got a bad Jason?
Oh, wait, real quick though.
Yeah.
Remember when Scott sent that meme about with Kyler Murray?
Which one?
Here it is. Can you see just the top of my head?
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
Go ahead, Jason.
Mine. What was the one kid that he had like 200 receiving yards, 250 receiving yards?
Kid from Ohio State.
300.
300.
Yeah, the cornerback who was guarding him. That guy had a rough day.
Well, that was part of the defense.
Yeah.
That guy played 2 ways. That guy played running back too. The guy that
They were
was
missing
on-
their top 2 receivers on Ohio State because they both opted out.
Really?
Yep.
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 They're gonna be top 10 picks or top 15 picks.
And
One
Ohio-
is for sure.
No,
they win
no,
or
I'm talking about the Utah.
Ohio
the
State.
guy- no, but the
You're talking
Utah,
about Utah
corner.
cornerback.
Oh, the corner. Sorry.
He was playing both offense and defense.
Oh
He
yeah,
was
he's playing running back. Yeah.
Yeah, because they were short on corners. So,
Definitely stick to running back.
well, yeah, but it's like,
Hey.
the record for that whatever Smith, whatever looks great, but it's like he's playing against a running back.
And you know what?
You
That
know?
kid went out there and played hard.
Yeah.
He didn't just say, I don't want to play anymore.
No,
Out
I
of
know.
position and
Exactly.
everything.
Yeah, he just went out and did it for the team.
Yeah.
Gotta respect that.
Team guy.
Oh, I got bad.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't watch the complete Packers game, so I watched most of the Bears game though. That was a shit show throwing the ball. Those balls were bouncing 4 feet short of guys over the top. Glennon, 4 of 11 for 24 yards. I've seen Scott play flag football. I guarantee he could have done that. Jordan Love went 2 of 4 for 19. He was only on one drive yesterday.
And he threw 2 balls like
terrible.
2
were terrible.
He just rolled out one time, sat his feet, threw it.
Yeah.
I'm like, what? And the guy, the tight end was like,
he was like, oopsie. No, but I mean, and he was almost caught Glennon for the whole game. And he looked horrible.
How much did the Bears pay Glennon 1 year?
Oh, a lot.
18 million.
A lot.
Was it 18
But they don't even trust him throwing the ball.
No.
It's crazy.
They were down by 20 points. They were running. They ran a whole drive. They ran, got down like 20, and then ran on 3rd and 10, took a field goal.
Yeah.
I'm like, what? In field goal range.
That's my bad. It was pretty bad.
My bad is the injury to Matt Corral from Mississippi State because I lost a football poll because of that. Because Mississippi State would have won, I would have won some money. So I'm going to say that is my bad. Also, you brought up what were we just talking about 2 seconds ago?
I talk about
Mike Glennon.
Mike Glennon. I was going to bring him up. Yeah, I don't know. Okay. Good. Let's go good.
I'm going totally something different here. I thought it was awesome, but the Oklahoma City rookie Josh Giddey became the youngest player in NBA history to record a triple-double on Sunday night.
Yeah, nice.
He was, let's see, where's it at here?
I'm going to pick him up.
The 6'8" guard accomplished this feat at 19 years, 2 months, and 23 days, beating Charlotte's LaMelo Ball, who had a triple-double at 19 years, 10 months, and 17 days.
Was he even on anybody's roster in fantasy basketball?
I think so, yeah.
No, he's known.
Oh, yeah.
I've never even heard of him.
Yeah, Oklahoma City has a couple guys because they score because they can't do nothing else.
Oh, okay.
I believe he was known.
That's good.
Nice.
Good for him.
Eric, good.
My good is the offensive side of the ball in the Rose Bowl. I mean, obviously, you take advantage of what you're up against with the way that the defense is played, but both teams had just great offensive strategy, a lot of fire. I mean, Utah came out. I mean, they looked great. And so for you to give up all those, records to Ohio State on defense and still be right in the game at the end, it tells you had a good offensive night. It was fun to watch.
Okay. Nice. Yeah, it was a good game, actually. I enjoyed it.
I wish Utah would have won, but
I would have liked to have been in that locker room, what
Of
Ryan
course
Day
you
said to
would.
those guys.
mm-hmm.
Because he wasn't very happy at halftime when they were asking, what you got to do? He goes, oh, we got to get a lot better here.
Well, he said that, yeah, his report, the sideline reporter grabbed him at halftime. He goes, "This is disgusting."
Yeah.
He was talking about his defense. So.
Okay. Good.
I don't really know.
Not your hair when you came down here.
How about
earlier today.
Ed?
Yeah,
Good.
How about
We
the
already talked
Raiders?
about Joe Burrows and Jamar Chase. I mean, they're just putting up huge numbers there. So I'm going to go. Robert Quinn got his 18th sack
18
yesterday.
and a half to be exact. Oh, 18. Yeah,
18.
Beat Richard Dent.
Yeah.
The Bears record.
That's
Yeah.
crazy. He's pretty much under the radar.
Mhm.
Nobody's talking about it. He's had a great year.
Look at here. I am gonna stick with my good though. I'm gonna go with the Bengals' future. Like I said, the Bengals' future I think is really bright. Their defense, they're gonna build that a little bit. Their offense I think is set for a couple years. T. Higgins will be free agent in I think a year. So, but that's kind of works out timing wise because you got Jamar Chase for a couple years. You can work it out maybe and keep them both. Maybe throw in a free agent tight end like a Zach Ertz or something. He's laying around maybe next year to add to that. I know the one tight end they have.
Yeah, they got CJ.
But they don't use them a
Uzomah.
lot. I think, but I don't know what you want to pay guys. I don't know what they want. But right now their offense, I think, is good. Their defense gets a little better, and they're going to be. I mean, do you want to play the Bengals in the playoffs in the AFC? I don't know. I mean, I don't know if that's a team you want to play. I mean, they can score defense, but you can get at them. But I don't know. That's a team that and they have Joe Mixon. We forget about Joe Mixon.
Well, that's what the big thing is. They can run the ball.
Yeah,
really well.
they get the right weather and their line's good enough. They're a tough team. I mean, I'm still the under the radar team. Is still a fan of the Colts, and they lost yesterday, but I'm still a fan of them. But those are two under the radar. The other teams we'll talk about as we get to them. But Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Bengals' future, and I think their
Yeah.
coach doing a good job there. The
I
new
agree. That
young
was
coach.
That was the same one I had pretty much.
I liked.
They looked really good.
Yep, I like them a lot. So let's talk about our first.
I gotta bring something up here. State-of-the-art engineering has been used at FedEx Field to repair the
duct tape.
Zip ties.
Close.
Guys, there's some strong zip ties.
So our first, well, let's start this out. We're gonna do it this way for our first. We have a few deaths happened this last week. It's crazy. But the first one we're gonna talk about, we'll do it this way. Ed sent me this info, so we're gonna use this.
Ladies and gentlemen, here's tonight's top 10.
So this top 10 was aired originally. Obviously, it's a rerun.
Rerun? What the hell is that?
All right, sorry, whatever. Replay. Betty White read it off. It's I believe it was top 10 ways to live longer or something like that. Correct? How to live longer. So here is Betty White with How to Live Longer.
The category Betty White tips for living a long and happy life. Here we go. Number 10.
Get at least 8 hours of beauty sleep. 9 if you're ugly.
Doesn't hurt. Go that extra hour. Number 9.
Exercise. Or don't. What the hell do I care?
Number 8.
Never apologize. It shows weakness.
That's right. Number 7.
The best way to earn a quick buck is a slip and fall lawsuit.
Number 6.
Avoid tweeting any photos of your private parts.
Number 5.
Schedule a nightly appointment with Dr. Johnny Walker.
Yeah. Number 4.
Take some wheatgrass, soy paste, and carob. Toss in the garbage and cook yourself a big-ass piece of pork.
Number 3.
Try not to die.
Exactly. Number 2.
Never dwell on past mistakes. Especially you, LeBron.
The number 1 Betty White tip for living a long and happy life.
Don't waste your time watching this crap.
So Betty White passed away at the age of 99. She was going to turn 100 on January 17th, I believe. So
January 17th. Correct, sir.
There was like big parties set up all over the country for it, like in bars and.
Yeah. So obviously Golden Girls fame, but she's known for she was always a contestant on I think Password time and things
so
like
she
that.
met her husband.
Yeah. So anything? Oh, it's from Wisconsin too. Correct? She is or from Illinois.
Oak Brook.
But she met her husband in Wisconsin. Yeah,
Oak Park, where
but
we
she
were,
met,
yeah.
but she met her husband in Wisconsin, I believe.
Where we stayed in her house? We were down in Oak Park.
She made mad. Smell it.
Probably in her neighborhood.
So anything about Betty White you want to bring up, Willie? You probably know her the best. You're about the same age, so anything? You
I
guys,
did say the carpets match the drapes.
yeah. Wow.
Jeez.
Wow. Anything else?
Oh.
Any other tidbits you have about her?
I mean, he's a huge Golden Girls fan. I remember.
Yeah.
That's right. I had those t-shirt and underwear.
Jeez.
Willie,
what?
thank you for being a friend.
He wears
But
them
no.
out on the lanai.
I still like the Snickers commercial. that she's in.
Yeah, I forgot it. Yeah, that's a great
It's a
commercial.
great
yeah.
commercial. And were you guys Mary Tyler Moore fans at all? Probably a little bit before you guys.
I watched my parents watching once in a while.
Sue Ann Nibbins. Yeah, yeah.
She's a sexy old lady, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She was was she kind of ditzy?
No, she was kind of she's very.
Who was the ditzy one on the show? Was that one chick with the
Oh,
weird annoying voice?
Yeah, I can't.
Yeah,
remember.
you know what I'm talking about. Yeah.
She was kind of the Blanche.
Georgia or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, Georgia. Yeah.
She was kind of the Blanche character on Mary Tyler Moore. And then on the Golden Girls,
Yes.
that's why they brought her in, and then they decided at the last second to switch it.
I
Right.
still. Yeah.
But they were showing one where she like burned a souffle, and she was so upset about it, she like closed the oven with her knee, like snapped it back up. To her. You know who does that?
So, Eric, anything about Betty White?
Well, there's a whole list of interesting things about her, but I'll just a couple. So her name was actually Betty, not Elizabeth. Most people that go by Betty were named Elizabeth, but her parents named her Betty. She's a
I bet after Betty Boop.
Yeah, Possibly.
Possible. Never mind. I'm just. You know what?
Might
That's
be too,
that's
it's too early.
That's fake news.
No,
So,
that's too early.
don't believe me.
She is in the Guinness Book of World Records, longest career as an entertainer. And like you just mentioned, she was originally auditioned for the role of Blanche, and then they switched roles on her. If she wouldn't have been if she didn't become an actor, she would have been a zookeeper. She was a big animal lover. In fact, she one time passed on the role in the movie As Good as It Gets because there was an animal cruelty scene in there. And then, we just mentioned, or Letterman mentioned, she loved junk food. She lived basically on licorice, hot dogs, French fries, Diet Coke. And so that's the key to living to be 99, I guess.
Sounds like America
Right?
to me, right there.
Yeah, she loved
America.
Taco Bell. That's what I
Yeah.
heard, yeah.
Well, I don't know. If, you done, Eric? Are you anything else?
Well, I mean, I know Ed brought it up too. Like, she was born in 1922. Some of the things, in 1922, our president, Warren G. Harding, gave a speech on the radio for the first time.
The
when
first time.
Yeah, the year she
I
was
bet Willie
born.
heard that one.
And the Cubs were in a 14-year drought from winning the World Series.
14 years.
That's a great tidbit.
So that's all I got.
You guys can fill in after this. I got a whole bunch of stuff here. So I kind of got the Harding thing. Is at the time, books were pretty much the only entertainment as radio had not taken hold yet. TV was years away. The big book that year was Ulysses, written by James Joyce, which to me seems like it was written, 100 years ago. In the same year, Warren G. Harding used the radio for the first time in the White House. But since jazz wasn't invented yet, it was only vaudeville skits in the Rolling Stones' second album. Yeah. That's a strange fact, yeah. And even without programming, there was already radio advertisements broadcast that year. It was the first year of radio ads and commercials.
Ovaltine.
The BBC was established and the Lincoln Memorial was dedicated a few weeks after that. That's 1922. Month later, Italian fascist Benito Mussolini invented cappuccino and then overthrew the Italian government while everyone was talking with their hands and enjoying his new drink. That's not true. I just made that up. But he didn't overthrow the government. Yeah. Howard Carter found King Tut's tomb. The New York Giants beat the Yankees in the Polo Grounds to win their second straight World Series. Listen to these stats. Their top two pitchers combined for 74 starts, 480 innings, and 112 strikeouts. That's 1.5 a game.
Pitching your defense.
Jesus. It's more democratic. Throw ground balls, Betty White is older than the NFL. 1922 was the first official year of the NFL. And I know it's because it says the Green Bay Packers first used pro players that year. There was a league for like a few years, but it wasn't really an NFL. The Canton Bulldogs won the NFL championship that year in 12 games. You'll like this one. You'd think the Bears defense was good last year or whatever. In 12 games, their defense allowed 1 touchdown to the Bears, 1 field goal to the Chicago Cardinals, and 1 touchdown to the Milwaukee Badgers. That was it. The whole year in 12 games.
So
all the rest were shutouts.
So what I'm hearing is the Bears had the best offense?
they were juggernauts with their 1 touchdown. Yeah. There were no convertibles when Betty White was born. There was also no insulin. Blenders they're going to be invented that year. The DeWalt radio alarm saw was invented. Traffic lights were still a year away. Q-tips hadn't been invented. The bulldozer. Frozen foods. There were no frozen foods yet. So then cheeseburgers.
Who invented frozen food?
I don't know.
Birdseye.
Really?
I think his name was Charles Birdseye. I watched on that Discovery.
Willie used to
foods
put
that made America was frozen foods. Birdseye. Yeah.
You put it out in the icebox. Remember, Willie?
Mm-hmm.
I did.
Cheeseburgers. The Hoover vacuum wasn't invented yet. Masking tape, pop-up toasters, the jukebox. Television was invented 5 years later and probably didn't take hold for almost 20 years after that. Incinerator started 5 years after that in Racine, the biggest garbage disposal. Sliced freaking bread wasn't invented yet.
Since.
Yeah. Reese's peanut butter cups, penicillin, the reclining chair. Bubble gum was invented in 1928, 6 years after she was born. Ice cubes were invented after
Who
Betty
invented-
White.
Who invented bubble gum?
This was it wasn't Wrigley, so it was you just saw us on the.
I did, but I thought
that's why I got this.
I thought it was Wrigley.
No, it was like Hubba Bubba or one of those.
Joe Bazooka.
Beemans.
Who?
Beemans, isn't that?
No, it was
old school.
Willie Beeman?
It was one of the,
Willie Beeman?
It was one of the big ones that we always talk about. I
Yeah.
mean, it would have been. And tampons were invented in 1929.
Hmm.
So, anyways, Betty White was old enough to remember Charles Lindbergh's cross-ocean flight when she was 5. Babe Ruth, who now has been dead 73 years, hit 552 home runs after she was born. I saw that on a tweet the other day. So Wally Pipp was still the Yankees' first baseman, and Lou Gehrig was 3 years away from starting when she was born.
And Yankee Stadium was under construction that year.
Yeah, and
the original.
Yankees won 27 titles in her lifetime. There's a good chance during her senior year of high school, she went to the theater to see the newly released Wizard of Oz.
First colorized movie, correct?
One of them, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
She was 35 years old when the last Civil War soldier died. Is that crazy? So there were probably there's still like slaves that you could talk to and stuff in her lifetime. And Betty White will be remembered as a Hollywood legend. I mean,
yeah,
probably the greatest woman in Hollywood of all time, up to this point.
Yeah.
Walter Dimer invented bubblegum. Double bubble.
Double bubble. That's
bubble,
what it was.
okay.
Close.
The one thing I heard that was a quote by Seth Meyers when she hosted Saturday Night Live the one time. She went to the party, was one of the last to leave, and she drank vodka and ate hot dogs. That's what she did that night. So good for her.
Jesus, reminds me of my honeymoon.
Speaking of your honeymoon, anything else about Betty White?
She was old.
Anything? Okay,
Rest
Betty
in
White,
peace.
a legend, 99 years old. Rest in peace. Speaking of your honeymoon in your college days, did you see the coach of South Carolina get a Mayo bath after winning the Mayo Bowl?
Oh,
Yeah, he was
yeah.
knocked out cold.
That was disgusting.
Duke's Mayo Bowl.
Duke's Mayo Bowl. It was like
That's how I paid for college. I think. But mine was in German.
You're listening to the Basement Benchwarmers podcast. Check us out on Facebook at Basement Benchwarmers, also on Instagram at Basement Benchwarmers, and on Twitter at Base Benchwarmers. And our email is basementbenchwarmers@gmail.com.
So another thing, another person that passed away this past week, actually just a couple days ago, was pretty close. Dan Reeves, coach, player, Cowboy, played in the Ice Bowl, threw a touchdown pass in the Ice Bowl.
Yeah.
Coached with the Cowboys. He also coached the Broncos, the Falcons.
He was actually a coach player at one point with the
Yeah.
Cowboys. Coached
Yeah.
and played the same season.
Yeah, he was an assistant though, correct? Yeah, he was.
Yeah, he was an
Tom
assistant, but
Landry,
yeah.
with Tom Landry, correct? Was he there? Yeah.
Yeah, that's the last person to ever do that.
Yeah.
To actually be a
So
coach and player.
yeah, he was a guy that we get on the radar, but I think we texted back and forth nine Super Bowl appearances as a player coach. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
But he won 2.
I don't know how many won.
I think he won was assistant with the Cowboys, and
He
that
did not. He did not win with the Cowboys
as
the
an
head
assistant,
coach.
right?
Well, he was the head coach there too for a while.
No, he wasn't a Cowboy head
No.
coach.
Dan
Cowboys
Reeves?
only had like 4 coaches or something.
It was
something
Tom
stupid.
Landry would have been there.
Oh
Right?
no,
Tom-
I'm sorry,
Jimmy Johnson.
Broncos.
Yeah,
Broncos.
Broncos.
He
yeah.
won one
Yeah,
with the
I'm sorry.
Broncos.
No, he never went to Broncos.
Didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
No.
When he lost.
He lost those
were the
2
Super
with.
Bowls that Elway
Where
lost.
did he win these Super? Well, he had to win one as a player.
He won one as a. He might have won as a player and a coach with the Cowboys in
Yeah,
the early 70s.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. And then he lost Atlanta. He lost when the Dirty Birds. He was that coach. He's the one that actually drafted Michael Vick.
Oh,
Mhm.
Also. And the Jamal Anderson and all the
well,
upset.
Betty White didn't approve of that.
He was the coach. The upset and Gary Anderson made 85 field goals in a row and missed one. He
Yeah,
was, he
remember
was the
that?
coach of the heck game. So yeah, he was a guy that, he was a John Elway. I mean, him and John Elway were pretty close. He's all when you think of Dan Reeves, personally, I think of the Broncos. That's how
I do too.
he was just
Yeah.
Bronco guy all those years. Never got to the hump. He was kind of like that kind of like Marv Levy type guy. Just couldn't win, but they were good enough to get there. Just couldn't win.
He's shoddy.
Yeah, yeah.
They lost 3 Super Bowls, I believe, with Reeves, the Broncos.
Yeah, they
And
lost.
they were all blowouts, right?
They lost to the Redskins with Doug Williams. They would have lost to the Giants. The Giants.
The Niners.
Bill McConkey touchdown, and they might have lost to the Niners too.
They lost the Niners. It was like 55 to
Mark
something.
Bavaro was on the Giants
Yeah.
too.
And then the Atlanta game he could have won. Wasn't it a real close one?
The Atlanta, that was that what happened that night is that's the night before Eugene Robinson got in trouble.
Oh yeah,
that was on. They ended up losing that was John. That was actually
he lost to the Broncos.
They lost to the Broncos.
Oh,
that was the first of the back-to-back because that was the second of the back-to-back because he beat the Packers the year before the Broncos. And that was John Elway's last game.
So he had to win both of them with.
He had to be the Cowboys player, coach,
player, and an assistant.
Yeah, because he lost the Ice Bowl, but he might have won like in '71 when they beat the Dolphins pretty good in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, they beat the Dolphins one year,
and that might have. And
does that sound right?
He might have only won one then. I don't know, but yeah, he was a big NFL guy, obviously too. I mean, you wouldn't even think of it when you hear Dan Reeves, and he was only 77, I believe, correct?
Jesus,
so he was fairly young.
That's 25 years longer than I think I'm going to live.
77 years.
77 years old. So, let's I forgot what else we're going to talk.
Well, we got we got Madden, but I mean,
yeah, let's go to Madden now. We'll talk Madden about.
Let's
Madden
talk about
later.
everybody dead now.
Let's go to our snake draft. Our snake draft tonight is top sports of the year. Are your favorite sports moments this past year? So, Willie, you want to kick it off?
Yeah, I'm gonna kick it off right now. My favorite thing of the year was Urban Meyer getting fired.
Oh, wow. Tough crowd.
Bro, I tell you, hey,
it's like favorite things of the year, or like the most notorious, or
well, that's the one thing I like because I've never been a big fan
Like
of that clown.
you could do top things or your favorite moments.
Well, it's anything.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go next.
Yeah.
I'm looking at Eric when I'm saying that. I'm gonna go next.
He's wearing his Bango.
Well, that's
Eric,
the thing. It's like all of mine are Bucks moments. I mean, my entire snake draft is all Bucks.
I don't think that's terrible.
I don't think
It's
they're
a moment. It's a moment. Like, what moment are you choosing?
Okay, go ahead. You go next. Go
Oh,
ahead.
Who, me?
Yeah.
Well, Giannis dropping 50 in the final, in the final game, and us winning the championship.
Now, how can it be any better moments in the Bucks year than that one?
Yeah.
You should.
Well, I know that's my number one.
You're
And then I got 15 others.
Yeah.
The rest
Go
is number
ahead.
2.
Jace, you got any?
Yes, I do indeed. Probably my first one would have to be the Euros final ending in PKs, a 0-0 game all the way through, and just terrible PKs, but entertaining game.
Are you speaking English? I have no idea what you just said.
Soccer, because football is
soccer!
life.
PKs. Okay. My number one. I'm gonna go Brady winning another Super Bowl.
Damn it!
I just popped in my head.
That was mine.
I don't have mine.
Mine. Well, no, I'll piggyback on that. That's fine. Oh, wait, my turn.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with that because I called it from day one of the NFL season. So
I didn't want to steal it, but it was easy.
And my second one will be my favorite sports moment is going to become, and it's kind of going to carry over, but what already happened with Javi Baez, all these Cubs players not getting any money that they think they're going to be getting, and Javi Baez is the first to take less. So the Cubs are going to be right when this is all said and done.
That was actually my second one. Was the Cubs breaking up the dynasty that never happened,
and it was correct what they did.
And
we said we all agreed on that.
I'm going to jump because we're not going to talk about baseball, but Chris Bryant now, the rumor is he's getting offered 6 years, 150, and the Cubs were in the 250, like 8-year range.
Yeah.
And all these guys overestimated their worth. We'll see. I mean, I wouldn't mind to see Bryant come back to the Cubs at that price. That's a good price.
Yeah. He ain't come back though.
No, I know.
Yeah.
You stole that from me. Now we're even.
Willie, right?
No, it's me.
Oh.
I have another one.
Edwin?
Eric's gonna take this one. Oh, you're doing all Bucks, huh, Eric?
Maybe.
Trying to think of what else was going on in sports. I mean, I'll say the Badgers girl volleyball I just watched.
Oh,
I thought that was pretty good.
Okay.
We got to see that beat up world perennial Nebraska team.
Okay, nice.
I'm going with Medina Spirit being up here to now being all the way up there.
Down 6 feet down there.
Come on, you're touching nerve on Eric now. He's gonna have to go out. He's gonna have to take a timeout. Eric needs a 20. Go ahead, Eric. What's your next one?
The 51-year-old Phil Mickelson winning the PGA Championship at Kiowa Island.
Okay. Willie?
I'm gonna go with the Ryder Cup.
You son of a
Oh,
bitch.
that's what I was gonna. Now I thought about it. At least
Ass whooping.
I was there. Yeah,
Yeah,
was
we
there.
That was an ass whooping.
That was.
Yeah, I just thought of that.
Okay.
You got
You
me again,
you
right?
get 2,
Yeah,
yeah.
I get 2. I'm gonna go with TB throwing the Super Bowl trophy from one boat to the next. I thought that was pretty awesome.
Nice. Okay.
Oh, shit. You're up, Jason.
Is it me?
Or Eric's up, yeah.
Yeah, Eric.
Mine's going to be the Milwaukee Bucks beating the Brooklyn Nets in the best of 7.
Okay. Jace?
What do I want to go with? So much. I'm gonna go with. I'll go with the Braves.
Oh,
the team that almost didn't make the postseason to ended up winning it all.
Yeah, same record as the Cubs at one point.
Yep.
Okay.
I'm going to go with a story that never happened. Aaron Rodgers leaving the Packers.
Remember all
It
the
was a-
speculation also?
Yeah, it was like huge. We talked about it for like weeks. Eric was crying through half the things. He's like, oh, man.
That was because of Medina Spirit.
It was a good story. I mean, and it, well, whatever. It was
He always
weird.
wanted to ride that horse with biking shorts on.
It was a huge story. They're still talking about it.
I'm going to go with something we haven't probably seen in our lifetime. Otani's season.
That was going to be my other one. Yep.
Otani's season in baseball. Pretty incredible pitching and hitting. He just was incredible. And I'm going to also just go. I mean, we talked about this earlier, I think. Really said something about it. I'm just going to go with how COVID has made the sports world turn on end at all times and different things and postponing, canceling, suspending, whatever.
Yeah, it's deciding lines in Vegas, you know?
Yeah.
It really is.
There you go. So, yeah, I'm going to say that is my last one. I had another one, but
Yeah, I love the Otani one, too. That was one I had lined up and I forgot it. I'm going to go with my 2 nephews shooting 3 8-pointers this year between the 2 of them. Pretty impressive.
Nice.
2 with the bow and 1 with the gun.
Hmm.
So, it's a pretty solid year.
So where's our beef sticks at then?
They're all in my fridge. I can bring more. I got tons of them now.
Jeez, oh Pete, let's go.
I'm going with Baylor ruining the Zags' perfect season
Okay.
in a blowout in Indy.
We were in Florida for that.
Yeah, we're watching it. You told me to come out there because they're getting smoked.
Well, Mandy's already thrown in all the Florida stuff. Lightning, the Tampa.
Harbaugh beating Ohio State. Good one. Bucks winning the Super Bowl and Lightning winning the Stanley Cup.
Yeah, no one cares about
The
that.
mayonnaise will do wonders for his hair.
Tampa Bowl or whatever, with their Champion Bowl or
The Duke's Mayo Bowl.
no, it was Tampa Bay. They call them now Championship Bay or
Oh, yeah, because everybody's winning down there and playing good now.
Yeah. Champa Bay.
Champa Bay.
I
I don't know, something like that.
I don't know. Eric, what do you got?
I'm going to go with
Giannis bought a hot dog and he ate the whole thing.
He threw it and hit a kid in the head.
So
Okay,
you want me to,
sorry.
you want
Sorry.
me to answer or are you going to answer?
I said it out loud. Sorry, go ahead.
Okay. I'm going to go with former Badger Jonathan Taylor in the season that he's having. I think he's having a special season. I think he should win the MVP, but of course they want to just always give it to a quarterback. But
Stupid
Joe Burrow.
Joe Burrow.
Joey
Yeah.
franchise.
So who are we going to talk about that later, or who is in the lead for MVP? I was like, right now the consensus.
I think Rodgers Taylor.
Rodgers, no.
I think we have another co-MVP. I think
I
it's
don't
gonna be either Barry Sanders, Brett Favre.
that would be cool though. I mean, they both deserve it probably.
Aaron Rodgers
Well,
probably won a
Rodgers'
I'll tell
numbers
you what,
aren't
though.
any better.
Yeah.
He's like top. He's the only number he has is the interception. It's 4, but
And
I
the
think
wins.
Burrow only has like another quarterback I looked up the other day.
I think Burrow has 8.
No. There's another quarterback. Kirk Cousins only has 7
I like
and
Kirk
just as many
Cousins.
touchdowns. So didn't make the playoff. I get it, but he did show how valuable he was last night in Green Bay.
Yeah,
Sure did.
Because they were god awful, and the Packers would be you can say about pretty much any starting quarterback you name, you can say the same thing. If most playoff chance teams, if you said the quarterback went down, they're probably going to lose. Most likely chance, unless you're I don't know. It's
Unless
just
you're
weird.
Tampa Bay.
No, unless you're Baltimore.
Yeah, that's good. But they're not going to make the playoffs. Maybe
it's
maybe
gonna be
Lamar
close.
Jackson was that important. I don't know. The guy that was in just didn't have it.
All the guys they lost at the beginning of the year were important
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah.
Jeez.
So
How many
Eric,
running backs they go
did
through?
Eric do a second one? Or were
No,
you
we're
interrupting him?
waiting on him.
No, he said
Jonathan Taylor.
Jonathan Taylor.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, all
I'm
right.
done.
So Willie's up.
San Francisco could lose their quarterback.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Trey Lance got his first W.
They beat Houston though.
No.
Yeah, we could beat Houston.
Remember, Nick Foles beat Seattle. So relax, slow down,
Relax.
Slow down.
So Mandy talked about Michigan beating Ohio State,
Yep.
which is great this year for Harbaugh. But I'm going to say something that is really going to change the landscape of college sports, and that's name, image, and
That
likeness.
was gonna be my answer.
So it's
good
really, really huge, for these kids that, weren't able to make a nickel off their face. Now they're going to be able to make, some cash if people want to throw it their way. So
I believe the Auburn gymnastics team signed a full team deal. First group to do it.
Nice.
I just thought another thing like that, kind of similar. If we got a second, I
Yeah.
actually wrote something here, but it's actually going to change sports too. I mean, I noticed the mainstream outlets have failed to report on the biggest story in women's sports this year. It's where it's our job as semi-respected podcasters to pick up the slack. The story of University of Penn swimmer Leah Thompson has mainly been ignored by the mainstream outlets. She's been destroying Division I records in her first year as a woman swimmer. Her 6'3" frame and size 13 flippers have easily helped her overcome the drag of her 7-inch penis. The Benchwarmers honor this great woman athlete.
We're gonna sponsor her. I mean,
I'm gonna take you to work. I'm gonna nail it to the wall. I'm gonna cut you boys in a meat grinder. I'm gonna cut off your arms. I'm gonna shove them up your asshole. Thursday, I'm gonna bat my own club. I'm gonna get you for this. Roman Maroni, never forget a bargain face, kid. I get you.
I don't know. I just felt appropriate to play there. I don't know why.
Never forget a bargain face.
Never forget a bargain face. So do we all do the snake draft? We all say something?
I
Do we
think
all?
so.
Okay, we're all good snake draft. Okay. Ed's. Oh, not Ed.
Sorry, that might get us kicked off the air.
Well, he's got a beer for us tonight.
I do.
Eric, you can drink through the. You got a beer, Eric? You're drinking one.
what are you drinking, Eric?
I'm drinking ice water with lemon. I'm gonna take it easy for a little while. So
Are you under the protocol? Are you sick yet or no?
no, I'm perfectly strong like bull.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
healthy.
I had a contact last week on Wednesday, so I kind of took it easy, and I'm pretty
Yeah.
freaking badass, so nothing happened.
Yeah, and
Um,
it's. I mean, Elle is already feeling fine, so it's whatever.
She get it from kissing with boys, or
Who knows? Everybody, I mean, the whole.
There
They're
was a
supposed to be.
basketball tournament last week. They went and hanging
Yeah,
out.
whatever.
I mean, they were sitting in the corner by themselves. Whatever.
she was at the one at Carthage too.
Yeah, she went one night with us or came with
Yeah,
us.
I had to miss the final night because of that,
Yeah.
and I didn't want to get anybody sick.
Yeah.
So
Wisconsin took down number 3 Purdue on the road.
Oh, nice.
I forgot about that.
So are we going to the beer?
Oh, you said you talked about
Yeah, you ready?
I just
No. Are you ready?
I can be.
Yeah, what do you got?
Let's do it.
I like beer cause it is good. I drink beer because I should. If there was a song to sing, I sing it and beer you drink. I drink beer when I am sad, cause the beer it makes me glad. Now there's nothing left to say, so let's go drink beer. Beer is good! Beer is good! Beer is good! Beer is good!
What beer is?
Beer is awesome good.
You sound like a shock jock just now. Oh.
It's
on reverse.
Let's go.
Go ahead, Willie.
Let me find it. Where's
sorry,
the-
I almost sent you a thing yesterday with the Bears did that flea flicker. Oh, flea flicker!
Go ahead.
Hey, stop walking all over me. Here, let's go. So what we're having here today, kids, is New Glarus Brewing. It's their Thumbprint series. It's blueberry cocoa stout.
Ed's face is 1,000
Dude, it's
words.
good, but it hit me pretty hard there.
So this
Ooh.
I haven't tried it yet.
That's me, Fabuloso. Oh, sorry. He's not even talking about what we're drinking.
It's
Eric's
got-
been yelling at us right now.
This has got way more taste than I
This
thought
shit
it
is
was
good.
going to.
Yeah.
So
Holy- go ahead. I'm sorry. Read your thinger.
So if you when you pour it, let me see the pour it out here. I'm just looking at my glass. Okay, it is a
This is great.
It's in a red cup.
it's in a red cup, a red solo cup. It's a blue-black color. It looks like wine in a certain light.
It does.
It does. The smell is blueberries, cocoa, vanilla ice cream, graham crackers, and lavender.
All my favorites.
The taste is vanilla ice cream with massive amounts of blueberries and chocolate sauce.
If you threw a fucking ribeye in here right now, we'd be fucking talking about something.
Bullshit, I'm dumping this in my bath tomorrow. That lavender.
The mouthfeel is silky smooth. The perfect amount of tartness, not too sweet, more carbonation than I expected. Made me burp.
Yep.
And overall, this is very good, and it's meets my expectations.
It met mine.
I'm telling you, I'm not a stout guy. This is freaking phenomenal.
We'll save a bottle for you next week, there, Eric.
I've seen that one before. I've never bought it though.
It's very Eric. It's very good. It's very good.
Is
It's
it pretty
freaking
light?
Good.
It's legit. Yeah, it's not for a stout. It's not very.
Yeah, most New Glarus stouts are light.
It's legit.
Which is good.
You know, I'm not a big fan of New Glarus's politics and all that crap, but man, they make some freaking good
We gotta
beer.
make a trip to New Glarus. I've never been there.
Oh, it's awesome. Eric, me and you have been there.
Yeah, I've been there a couple times. It's awesome.
Yeah, I
It's a
have too. The
great
second time
setting.
it was closed because of COVID.
Oh, well, I bet I've been there when it was actually open. It's great. I mean, there's a beer garden in the back. It feels like you're in Europe somewhere.
Did they have all the taps open outside when you were there?
Yeah, all the taps were open. Basically, you could just have a picnic out there. You know, you
Yeah.
could just set up
It's
a table.
beautiful.
Usually, bring your own. You could bring your own food. They don't serve food there. It's just beer.
But the
So
building
you-
looks like old school barns, like
Oh,
old.
it's just it's an awesome
beautiful.
tour.
Wedding places up north and all
Yeah,
that.
it's way nicer. I mean, it's huge, but
Yeah,
yeah,
it's a gorgeous setting. I mean, it's
Go
very
a winding
scenic
road
and-
up a hill to get up to the top of the hill where it's at.
Yep.
It's nice.
Yep,
and it's
I recommend it.
5.5 ABV, guys.
It's pretty light.
Pretty light.
I say we do a Benchwarmers road trip when it's not 4 degrees outside.
Yeah, whenever we got. Yeah.
I'll drive.
Oh,
Who's making sausages or something?
I don't know. Something's cooking somewhere.
Yeah, it smells good. Let that go good with my beer.
Meatloaf.
I just farted. Sorry.
So I got a question. Okay, so it goes beer. I got a question for you, and this isn't being funny. I'm asking you straight up. I'm not trying to, I'm not trying to hit a nerve with Eric.
Oh,
But is the Packers season going to be Groundhog Day or Rocky
I
2?
know.
It seems to me this team seems eerily the same as last year. The only thing I think the other teams aren't as good as they are. I just think the AFC is better, but to me it's just weird. Last night's game, I'm kind of not. I don't count, but every game this year. You look at and a lot. It's NFL's like that. Every team's like that. But for their number one seed, we look at their games. They had times in the season where there were games that look at the Cleveland game. 5 turnovers and they win by 2 points. They get 5 or 4.
Yeah.
4 turnovers or 5. They have a fumble. I mean, the Baltimore game. Baltimore is not as bad as not making the playoffs. Trust me. The AFC is getting an easy out if they don't make the playoffs because they're a tough team and they're coached really well. But even the Bears game was they let the Bears hang around for a couple quarters and the special teams let them hang around.
Do you
but-
think there's any pushovers going to make the AFCs? Like the NFC, we're going to see the Eagles.
No, I don't think so. I think every team. I think the one team that's might be an easy.
The Niners should be easy to beat for most teams.
Well, the Niners though, if they can establish that run like they do,
that's still though. They're
well,
not a.
We're talking about the playoffs now. Here's what we got right now. Here's if the season ended right this minute, you'd have the Chargers at the Chiefs.
It's a good game.
You have the Colts at the Bengals.
Oh, that's a great
And
game.
you have the Patriots at Buffalo.
Oh, that's another good game.
So those games are hard to pick. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. But in the NFC, you'd have Philadelphia at the Rams. You'd have San Fran at Tampa, and you have a great rematch of Arizona at the Cowboys.
Yeah.
And that was a great game
but those
yesterday.
first-
The Cowboys Arizona game was a great
Did you-
playoff game. It really was.
Here's a stat for you. Kyler Murray, this is college and pro, is 9-0 in Jerry World.
Nine
He's
wins.
9 times, lost 0. So that's
how
his
many
college
years in high
career and
school?
bowl games and what have you. And
Like
he's
only
completely
one in-
dominated the Cowboys.
Well, he probably played a couple in Texas A&M, and
I think he won
Yeah.
2 in high school.
Yeah.
In that stadium.
I don't think this is the first time he's played the Cowboys.
No, but
Is
he's
it-
playing that stadium.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
the win,
that's what I meant,
he only
in that
Cowboy,
stadium.
I think it was only one time. This is the first because this is the second year, right, or third year? Second.
No, it's his
Third year.
Third year.
Third year.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe he could have played him, but yeah.
You mean Kyler Murray?
Yeah.
There you go.
So, but we talk about that, and the
But
Packers,
those first 2 games are, I don't see. Do you see Tampa or the Rams losing those first 2 games?
I think if this stays away, I think San Fran could give the Buccaneers problems because the Buccaneers right now, their defense is they lost last week. They lost what's his name, the linebacker, their best linebacker, to a sprain. So he'll probably be back for the playoffs. But
their running game's a little.
The running game is not great. They're short Godwin. I mean, and obviously Antonio Brown is gone now. They're still gonna have Gronkowski and Mike Evans.
Tyler Johnson.
But they have 3 really good tight ends. I can see
You're right.
them starting
Cameron
to do
Brate,
that.
OJ Howard, they'll and their offense, just their defense right now worries me, and that's what worries me about the Packers at times. I mean, and also the Rams have become really odd on. The Rams probably have the best defense right now, but I think the Packers are the best offense. So that's the thing. I think the Packers offense can overcome a good defense, get those extra points. And win a
Right
game.
now, after watching that game last night, I know it was against the Vikings team without a quarterback, but would you be surprised if the Packers went to the Super Bowl?
No.
I wouldn't.
But I
either.
wouldn't be surprised if the Rams or Buccaneers did either. I mean, I think the Rams actually are the biggest threat to the Pack. And I did pick the Rams to start the year to win the Super Bowl.
That would be incredible.
Well,
Back-to-back home
but
Super
I think
Bowls.
right now Stafford's turning the ball over too much, and he always
Oh.
has. But he's had a couple weird turnovers and tip balls and stuff like that, and it's just odd for him right now.
And they got a receiver that might just throw his shit down and walk off the field.
Yeah, but the other thing about the Rams that what they've done the last few weeks, they've involved Sony Michel a lot more. He's a better fit for that offense than I think Darrell Henderson, hands down.
And if they have Cam Akers
and Cam
back,
Akers might come back for the playoffs.
Yep.
Yeah, make it tough on the Packers.
I mean, I still think the Packers are the best team.
Back to Stafford, you got to give Baltimore some credit there. So,
Oh, yeah.
So you look at that second interception. You know what that was? That was a long punt. They got on the 5-yard line.
Yeah.
It really didn't hurt.
Yeah, no,
it
you're
didn't
right.
hurt the thing.
It was third down when it happened. It wasn't. Yeah.
That first one, the first interception. Yeah, give the guy some credit.
that's probably what they were hoping for on that.
Well,
play.
he's not afraid to
Score a
throw it,
touchdown, or if he picks it off, who cares?
or you get a penalty or anything. I don't know why teams don't do that more from their own 45.
I would.
Why don't you just throw it down there and see what happens?
Because quarterbacks only throwing picks, but some don't care.
Right, because it's going to hurt my bottom line.
Some don't care.
Right.
Where like
They get it.
guys like Rodgers or Brady or Stafford, they're not going anywhere anyways. They're not going to lose money. It's
Yeah, they're fine. It's not going to hurt them. You threw 12 interceptions. Yeah, we're going to cut you.
Yeah.
Ain't going to happen with those.
the guy's got to worry about that is like Jones or
Well,
those
yeah,
kind
all-
of guys
yeah.
that are on the fringe. Garoppolo, but yeah, I don't see why they don't do that more often.
And the one team that is, if they win this week, which I believe they're at Houston, and I believe
Titans.
they will. The Titans are quietly, they're the number 1 seed.
Right.
And Derrick Henry's peeking over the fence like Kyler Murray right now. Here we go. That's him right now. He's peeking over the fence, waiting to get. Yeah, look, that's him. He's like, I'm getting ready to play. And Derrick Henry, with what they got going on, healthy AJ Brown, Julio Jones gets healthy, and Julio Jones isn't going to be the 10 catch guy, right? But he's going to be a guy you got to worry about on the field. He'll get those 3 or 4 catches, and their defense is the only thing at Tennessee. I'm a big fan of defense, and I think, but they're quite, if they can run the ball and keep the defense off the field, that's huge. I mean, this
And
playoff-
Henry's going to come back because the fantasy playoffs are over, and a lot of us had him.
Yeah, I think the AFC. I think the
He ruined
AFC
my whole
playoffs.
season.
I think the AFC playoffs are way better than AFC playoffs right now. I think the AFC playoffs might just. I think they're the best team overall, but I think they might beat each other up, and that might be a benefit for the NFC winner.
Well, what I was going to say is the AFC. Do you see any team that's a pushover? I mean, the Patriots.
I would say if I picked the weakest team overall, would probably be the Chargers. I'm not. That's not a diss on them. That's not a diss at all.
No, they're all good teams.
But the Chargers just don't know how to win games. Still, they still lose close games.
Yeah,
and that's gonna hurt them in the playoffs. I think. Plus, their kicking game is not real great right now. Field goal, their field goal kicking thing is a mess. And you got to be able to kick field goals and play special teams. You have to be able to.
Yeah,
Especially
'cause
outdoors.
The weather's going to be shit, and you're going to have close games.
Yep.
I mean, it's
Yep.
going to be a weird year because coaches are going for everything on fourth down now because of the
Ask Dan
analytics.
Campbell.
Yeah, and kneecaps. But let me ask you. I'm sorry, you're going to say something, but let me ask you guys a question about this. Do you think that anybody? I don't care what you say. Nobody wants to play in 10-degree weather. Okay, Green Bay has home field. It's great. But you think Aaron Rodgers or Don Fat want to play? They're going to do it because they have to and do their job. But remember, last year the cold weather, Tampa came up and won in 20-degree weather. I mean, it could be -5.
Did you see the stat of the Packers? And
they
it's
show
awful.
They showed that. I didn't know that was
They were
that
like,
bad.
what? It was awful. Like below 500.
And they remember what was the game, Eric? You remember? You might remember. What was the game that turned that stat around? What Michael Vick game.
Yeah.
They came in as I think the Packers were like a 2-seeder, and I think them had 6 seed, and they came in and Vick just ran around on him. He was the first time you saw a quarterback actually take a game over with his feet.
Well,
he just ran the whole night against him. He just ran all night. That's all
Didn't
he
the
did.
Packers pounded by the Giants then too?
No, that was a close game. That was Favre when he
20-17.
Yeah.
Okay, that's not the one.
Yeah.
I'm
That was the
thinking of.
last-second field goal and
The
all
Atlanta
that.
That was there. Yeah.
Didn't
Oh, you were at
Kaepernick-
It was cold too. That's a night
I was
that-
I was indoors, but it
But
was
that's
cold.
like- That's night Coughlin's face looked like it was going to fall
It
off.
was 10 below.
Yeah, it was freezing. Yeah.
That was a
Didn't
Favre.
Kaepernick
That
do
was
the
a
same
Favre
thing?
game.
Kaepernick ran all over him too.
Well, I was at a playoff game against the Vikings, and they, Randy Moss was wiping his ass on the.
Did they win? Did the Vikings win?
Vikings won that
Yeah,
game.
Vikings won.
Who was the quarterback of that team?
That was Favre.
It's Favre.
Oh yeah. Favre's playoff game. Yeah, when they
That was
lost. to
Sherman's. Yeah, that was Mike Sherman's teams.
Yeah, so we've all been to playoff games they've lost lately.
Yeah.
So do you guys? I mean, honestly, you're going to be confident. They're playing well, but I look at it and you look back the last few days, but playing well then too. Is this team? What's different about this team? Do you guys think? I mean, I'm asking you guys. I'm just saying. I'm not saying. I think they have a great
The way
chance
they
going.
run.
I just think it's better. I think they're better than what's left. That's the thing. I don't think Tampa's defense is good enough, and I don't think the Rams might make that one mistake on offense. It's going to hurt them. I think I think the Rams are the best defense left.
Oh,
This team-
hell yeah.
If they're on the same page, because Von Miller looks like he's getting into it now,
Yeah.
and they're so. What do you guys think?
They run the ball great, which is going to help them in this cold weather.
Yep.
And they can play that short game, but they win all the games. They've been winning them.
Well,
they're not like you said, those close games. They're still pulling them out and winning those
they
games.
did it the last few years, though. Eric, what do you think? I
Well,
mean,
no,
obviously,
ev-
you're rooting-
everything-
you kinda see what
everything-
I think they're the best team in the NFC, and not just because they're number 1 seed. Because last year I thought Tampa Bay was the best team, and they were the 5 seed. So I think this year I think if it can end up, I think the Rams and Packers playing the NFC Championship. That's my pick right now. That's my pick if it could work out. Because I just don't think Tampa. And once again, I'm counting out Tom Brady, and I it's tough. But I don't know. What do you think, Eric?
I think everything you're saying makes sense. I mean, to me, I think they're the best team in the NFC. I think, I agree with you on the AFC having a few good teams there. But I mean, my heart's been broken so many times. I mean, I've been to 2 NFC championship games in Lambeau that they lost. So I think the defense is a little bit better, which gives me a little bit more confidence, but I'm not going to sit here right now today and say the Packers are winning the Super Bowl.
You going to take me to the NFC Championship game if they go? You going to take me?
If they go to the Super Bowl, am I going to take you? Yeah.
NFC Championship. NFC Championship.
You know what, Pete? So Pete Lyons and I went to those 2 NFC Championship games that they lost. And so we pretty much decided that we're not going to an NFC Championship game this year.
That's a cop out.
We're going to go to the round before.
Yeah. Well, it's the last game then.
Well,
either way.
you know what?
There we go. We'll just jinx them there.
If you go to that one and lose, you'll never go to a playoff game again in your life, will you?
I'm done.
On
the road, I'll go to.
Like Tampa Bay, I'm calling it Wisconsin championship year. We got girls volleyball. We got the Bucks. We've got
Badgers just beat Purdue.
Yeah. There's what the heck? They got a good chance. The Brewers should have been up there, but they choked really bad and fell apart at the end.
So the point I wanted to make back before, Aaron Rodgers is looking in his crystal ball. Who does he want to play in their first game in Green Bay?
I don't,
being the vindictive guy that he is.
It sounds odd to me, but I do not think they want to play San Fran.
I would agree.
San
Or
Fran's
New
both
Orleans. He doesn't want to play New Orleans either.
You're missing one team he wants to play.
Oh, he wants to play.
Cowboys.
He wants to play the Cowboys.
Yeah.
He does.
Well,
he
let's
wants
play
to
them
rub
in the
in.
NFC
The
Championship.
Cowboys are a tough team, though.
He
too.
wants to rub in their face.
They're here. Cowboys are Jekyll and Hyde.
Yeah, but they might struggle in cold weather
but-
being a dome team.
But the thing about
you never
it,
know
the
again.
thing about it is that you look at it and go, it's one game.
Mm-hmm.
If the Cowboys can establish a run, which they can, because Tony Pollard, I think Elliott's still hurt. He killed me.
He looked horrible.
I think his knee's better than people think. If they get Pollard involved more, which they should, and they just play the right and to be honest, for how great the Packers secondary has been playing, they still get exposed by good receivers, which every team does. But you got CeeDee Lamb, Amari Cooper, now Gallup got hurt. Which
How bad
kills
did
him.
they look?
Who?
CD. Those guys aren't consistent.
Yeah.
And
I
the
don't-
Packers are getting possibly 4 starters back in the next week.
A question
or so,
for you. This is
which should
our
help
good
them.
friend Heggs, friend of the show, wrote this. What does the Packers do? Do you put these guys in?
You're not
Good
going to
point,
you're going
good
to sit
point.
Jerry Alexander
Why would you play him?
because he's
I-
better than what
but
you have.
Beginning of the year, and Eric, you let me know about this. He was having problems beginning of the year, Jay Alexander. He was getting picked on by and getting beat a little bit. Right now, their secondary is playing
Put him
really
as
well.
Put him as a nickelback.
Well, they may. He might
Yeah.
not. He might not get the corner spot back. What they'll do is King healthy right now?
I don't think so.
No.
No, King. Didn't King play the? Wasn't playing-
I don't think he was
no,
in
he has been
yesterday.
playing
It's been Stokes and it's been
Savage
Douglas.
two up top.
And, and Stokes is a good draft pick. I mean, he looks pretty solid.
Yeah.
Stokes is going to be good.
Yeah, Stokes is gonna be good. Savage was good. I mean, Jerry Alexander. They've drafted a lot of.
He's no Jalen Johnson, but okay.
No, but
Just
still.
kidding. I'm just kidding.
I don't know.
Well, I know that. I know.
Go
that-
ahead, Eric.
A couple things. So, how great would it be that when the Cowboys come to town, they have to drive down Mike McCarthy Way, to get to Lambeau to lose a game. But I think with Jair and Bakhtiari and all those guys, you don't just give them their starting jobs.
I think Bakhtiari's coming back. I think his knees I think his knees screwed
I think
up.
that's a smart decision to not bring him back. He's a big guy. But you could bring Jair back and not have him. Just have him within the depth of the team. He doesn't need to start. I don't screw up the momentum.
I think the biggest piece they need back, and it's very possible, is Randall Cobb.
He's coming back. He'll be back next.
I think Cobb needs to come back, and I think that helps him a ton offensively. Not that, but get Scantling out of there or MVS, whatever. He's out. Get Cobb back in the slot. You put, I think, Lazard. I've always liked Lazard.
Man, Lazard's
And
playing
I
great.
liked Lazard 2 years ago. People laughed. Well, I like Lazard
Aaron
a
likes
ton.
him too.
I like him a
Yeah,
ton.
he's playing
and
fantastic.
Adams, and you just see what good receivers do. A good receiver like Adams. We all sit here and go, how does he exactly so wide open? Well, when Adams is running across
Great
the middle,
routes.
he runs across the middle and 2 safeties go with him, then you dump it off and the guy gets 15 yards. I mean, it's very simple. I mean,
What do you do? Who do you cover?
exactly. That's the thing. It's got to be you have to almost and with the Packers a chess game. You have to and you can do it. Rodgers is not unbeatable.
Yeah, he's not infallible.
He's very good at reading all that. But if you can get in if you understand what's going on defensively, you plan correctly, you can get in his way. But the problem is, I think Cobb is the big X factor right now. I really do. I think Cobb is a big thing for them. I think Cobb has a good playoffs. I think it's a security blanket in a way to him. He was playing really well before he got hurt, and I just think would be a huge bump for the offense. I honestly don't think. To be honest, Alexander would be great, and I get it. He is all pro.
He ain't gonna hurt you.
But he was struggling and he's got to come back, and he was supposed to come back this week, and they took him off IR and they brought him and they set him out. So they said it was still his knee. I thought.
No, it was COVID.
Oh, it was COVID.
Yeah.
So he's whatever. They're not going to need him next week's anyway. He can sit again. He can maybe play a little whatever.
Well, so the word is that everybody's going to play against the Lions. That they all want to play. Rodgers wants to play. Devontae. Everybody wants to play.
Should I mean?
And if they work,
they're going to be getting a
Cobb
week
back
anyways.
in, or Bakhtiari back in, or Alexander.
Oh, remember they said
because you don't want 2 weeks off.
They said this last night. They said this last night though, and it may. I don't think they should play any of those guys personally. I don't play Rodgers. Rodgers would not play for me at all in that game. And here's the reason why: you're playing a Lion team who is
Like
going to
kneecaps.
Well, they actually get after the quarterback. They like to hit people, and they're going to play like they're going to play like it's their Super Bowl. And I think this is another good experience for Jordan Love. I really do. It's a little weaker team. So he can go out there and maybe get a little confidence. He's not going to – Rodgers come back next year. There's no doubt, I believe. But at least give him in a game. Let him have a little confidence, play against a team that's beatable. Because the Chiefs game was kind of a tough game to go because Chiefs are good on the road in Kansas City. That's a tough place to go play. And I think it's a good place I think Love should get the start and just play. I understand Rodgers wants to play. I get it. And they're going to play them all because to your point, they get a week off. But, man, if he gets one here's what happens.
I would pull him the first time there's something close.
He gets hurt. Rodgers gets hurt. And Matt LaFleur is going to be run out of town. I don't care if he has the most wins in the history of the NFL through first 3 seasons. It doesn't matter. You get Aaron Rodgers hurt in a meaningless game in the NFL. There is no way if I'm Matt LaFleur, he's playing for me just because of that chance. You can play everybody else. You can play Devontae because but Aaron Rodgers does not play for me. There's no way. There's no way.
What if Rodgers? What do you do if Rodgers insists that he's playing? Do you
Rodgers
tell
not the
Aaron
boss.
Rodgers no?
Rodgers has to understand he's not the boss in this, and that I think he understands that kind of now. I don't think
not.
Hey, you know what? Let's listen to the friend of the show, Pat McAfee show tomorrow.
Yeah, I don't think they may play him. They may play him, and that's great. And I'm sure
I kind of like your idea now.
I'm sure he'll come off unscathed. But you know what? You can't take that chance.
Well, I wonder if he's going to be on in the fourth quarter on Peyton and Eli. Rodgers is on tonight. Yes,
Rodgers is.
Oh, okay. Well,
Snoop Dogg's on right now.
We'll have to get off. We have to finish up shows.
Hopefully, he doesn't shoot one of the Manning.
Snoop Dogg's on, and then Rodgers will be on in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, he lived a tough life. I like Snoop.
Snoopa doggy.
So I predict the weirdest injury if the Cowboys come up to play the Packers in like sub-zero temperatures. Zeke is gonna put his tongue on his nose thing, and it's gonna get stuck.
I'm not. That's not gonna be mine. It's gonna be something with Mike McCarthy eating a steak at his favorite steak restaurant. He's back, that one in De Pere.
He's gonna hork it.
Yeah, and he's gonna get like
Mike McCarthy gets such. I can't believe the dude. I see stuff people write about this dude, and dude, he's won 11 games in the playoffs, and he didn't have his quarterback last year. I mean, he's not a bad coach. I mean, I think
they're bad mouthing him right
management.
now. People right, and
he still makes the same mistakes there.
Yeah, but I don't know.
Same thing in
man.
Green Bay. It's time to make a change. You can't be there for 40 years.
Yeah. Well, Mike Tomlin was. Bill
that was going to be the guy I was going to say is Tomlin, and look
Bill
how
Cowher.
Nobody's a
mole. Yeah, 3
That's
coaches.
one city.
No, I think Mike Tomlin deserves to be in the Hall of Fame after dealing with Antonio Brown for that long.
Good call. Now, Mike Tomlin, he's
Yeah,
made
the
some
best
horrible
of them, though.
choices.
Yeah, I don't know. Okay, so so that's all I want to know off the back. We'll be able to talk more after next week as the playoffs.
I like your idea though. I think sitting Rodgers is not going to hurt him.
But I think it helps
let
Jordan Love a little
Love
bit.
get a little bit of time.
Yeah, maybe get
let Rodgers make the calls. 600 yards like Flynn.
Yeah, there you go.
Against Detroit, you remember that, Willie?
And then Gutekunst go out. See, I was right. Rodgers, get out. You're done.
I love like an NFL quarterback.
So talking about LaFleur, I think most wins in first 3 years or whatever, he's tied or whatever, he's up there, whatever. The second place guy, you know who the second place guy is?
I don't know. I don't follow those kind of records.
You know, Eric? And
Belichick?
No, actually, it's not. That's a good one though. It's George Seifert.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
He inherited a huge team. Yeah.
Steve Young. Yeah. I mean, it's nice. It kind of correlated. Pretty nice for you when you win 13 games those years.
I think he won a Super Bowl his first year or something. Yeah,
he did.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I would Belichick no way because he was at Cleveland.
Well, it's just a 3-year span.
Oh, I thought it was the first 3 years.
Well, no, it's your first 3 years. Yeah, so it's Seifert. Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah.
My bad.
But it's a 3-year span now. Packers first team to win 13 games in 3 years in a row. But
ever?
I believe so. Yeah.
Oh.
Right, Eric?
Yeah, he's in a list. He's in a league of his own.
The Packers team is 13.
The Packers are you should be
no team has ever won 13 games 3 years in a row. It's not
season.
the actual team.
And it was in 16 games, so it wasn't like this is just because of the 17.
And honestly, I think LaFleur's a good coach, but I think he's still a product of Aaron Rodgers.
Eric, don't you think Scott, as a Cub fan, should really enjoy this Packer team?
Yeah.
This dynasty's won one championship, and then they've just kind of been middling. No, they've been
the same thing.
They've been playing. Football's a lot tougher. You get one chance. Something goes wrong, you lose the game. It can happen. They ran into a buzzsaw last year with Tom Brady.
They are the equivalent of Pittsburgh.
Yeah,
at this point, they're the Steelers. Team that's always involved, always there, always good. You got to worry about them. They play well. Had a franchise quarterback, obviously diminished a little bit. Rodgers hasn't. But for those 10 years, Roethlisberger was awesome. And they just made it, and they got so far, and they would lose. It would be New England in a way.
Well,
don't have that
they
problem.
actually won 2 Super Bowls, though.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point.
So if Rodgers can somehow get another one here and not shit the bed.
Didn't they beat Pittsburgh too?
They beat Pittsburgh in the Super Bowl. Yes.
Yeah, so Pittsburgh's been a lot, huh?
Yeah, Pittsburgh's always involved, but they always had that pesky Patriots.
You know,
team to
if
mess with. All those
you're winning,
pesky Patriots. Tom Brady.
If you're winning 13 games a year, you're going to hit some Super Bowls. You know, that's the
Well,
thing.
and like the Colts for a long time with Peyton, and even with Luck, they were right there. They're back at kind of in the mix again.
The Patriots.
So
Dallas
Always
for
the
all those
Patriots.
years.
Always, yeah.
I mean, they're
The
always
Cowboys were the Packers' nemesis.
Yeah.
And then the Packers became, and then the 49ers, Packers became like the 49ers nemesis. They could always beat the 49ers in the playoffs unless that with the Terrell Owens year. Besides that year, they always beat them.
Dude, that one year
they
with
beat 'em a couple years in a row.
when Wayne Simmons was all hopped up on cocaine and just crushing everybody. Do you remember that, Eric?
Yes.
Game where he just went ape shit and was just destroying everybody.
Well, that was their Super Bowl year. No, that wasn't.
Maybe
No,
that's
no.
what Antonio Brown.
No, that
did
was
at
their
halftime.
that was 96, right?
It was 96. Yeah.
Yeah, the Super Bowl year. Yeah, they won at. Didn't they win at San Francisco?
Yeah.
No. They beat they won. They beat San Francisco in the divisional round.
They went to Carolina.
No, they won
beat
Carolina.
But the
'Cause
next year they went to San Fran in the NFC Championship game.
And beat
The
them.
year that they lost to Denver.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was their
It
big
was in the mud.
But the Carolina game was at Green Bay against Kerry Collins.
Yeah, they had the home field throughout. But the 49ers had the home field advantage the second Super Bowl, even though they were both 13-3.
Good memory, guys. That's been a while.
So we're not going to do our picks
Field
on
trap.
it. We'll just talk about some games. We'll do our picks on that side, and we'll talk about our final standings after next week. So big games this week. The biggest game on the docket was moved to Sunday Night Football, and it is going to be winner goes to the playoffs between the Chargers and Vegas. So if Vegas wins, they get to go to Kansas City most likely.
Actually, if the Jaguars beat the Colts, both those, if that game ends in a tie, they both are in.
Well, in a tie.
So, but here's what:
if Colts win, they're in, right?
Yeah.
Maybe the Jaguars.
But think about it like this. So say the Jaguars win somehow. What if they both just kneel it out?
No teams are going to do that.
Yeah, their fans wouldn't really like that.
No.
Hey, $300 for this ticket to
Just
watch.
kneel.
They all took their shirts off. And
other games that mean a little something to certain teams. Jets, Buffalo at Buffalo. Buffalo wins. They win the division. You got Tennessee at Houston. Tennessee wins. They secure the number 1 seed. Washington Giants. That means nothing. KC at Denver. I believe KC needs to win to tie up the number 2 seed. So these are all games. KC though gets the luck of the schedule. I know today because they usually try to get teams to play at the same time. So you don't know. KC will know what they need to do because if Tennessee wins, they can't get the number 1 seed, and they play at 3:00. So that's an
they can
advantage.
just sit everybody.
I don't like what they did. KC at Denver. They should have moved the Indiana. They should have moved the Tennessee Houston game to 3:00. That's what they should have did, and they did not do that. It was weird to me
because they want Mahomes.
So KC
He's the
gets
golden boy.
KC gets that break, and they get to understand what's going on. Packers obviously the game means nothing. Cowboys need to win at Philly to secure, and they can move up to a 2 seed if both Tampa loses and I believe
Rams.
The Rams, but the Rams got a tough one. They got to go and play San Fran Rams, but San Fran may be resting guys. I think San Fran has it locked up no matter what. Correct? I think they do.
San Fran's in.
San Fran's
they
in.
have a wild
so
card.
San Fran may rest guys. I don't know what you would do. And Garoppolo could come back.
Move any
I don't think
position.
you play Garoppolo.
Yeah.
Because his thumb.
Does Arizona have Hopkins coming back?
I don't know. He might be. He was on IR, but he can come off.
I think he's waiting. He can't come back. He has to wait till the playoffs.
He's kind of in
He
the
can't come back
Derrick
this
Henry
week.
3
type
weeks,
thing.
so it might be.
Yeah, this was his 2nd week. So next week will be the 3rd.
No, it's been the whole playoffs ride for fantasy. So it was started
he
2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it started 2 weeks ago. So this will be his 4th week. So he could come back this week, I think.
Oh, he could come back.
Yeah, but he may not because
Yeah.
they don't need. I mean, Arizona has to play Seattle too, and Arizona needs to win to keep. All these teams, I believe, need to win to keep seeding or have a chance to bump seeding.
Yeah, Arizona's got Connor out too. Is he coming back? I didn't look.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Anybody know?
What's the situation with the Dolphins?
Dolphins are out.
They're out.
Dolphins
They're
got
out.
I was sad about that.
Dolphins were eliminated when
Because they lost. Okay, that's right.
Colts.
And
when
it was
when Tennessee.
It's
Well,
magic stuff.
no,
the Colts had to win and
It was-
Tennessee
it was,
had
It was a
to-
late game yesterday that decided that they got knocked out. So I can't remember what late game it was, but
I thought they had to beat Tennessee.
They
Well,
had to,
they
but there was a
had-
game that someone won and kicked them out.
They
The
got their-
Chargers winning knocked them out.
Yeah, they got their ass
Oh.
handed to them.
Yeah, they didn't play very well in that game. So you know what,
Bad time not to play well.
Ed,
Yeah, because I mean, my Dolphins.
one more time.
Yeah, I don't know.
Ed's Super Bowl pick.
I got some stuff about the Winter Classic if you wanna.
Yeah, if you want to take a nap, go ahead.
They're fun little tidbits.
It was cold.
So Target Field has become the sixth venue in Minnesota to host a regular season or playoff NHL game, joining the Met Center, XL Energy Center, which is their current home, the Target Center, the St. Paul Auditorium, which was the inaugural North game when they played the Blackhawks in 1955, and TCF Bank Stadium, which is now Huntington Bank Stadium, which is where the Blackhawks played them in the Winter Classic. And the 2022 Winter Classic was the 13th Winter Classic and continues the tradition since 2008. And the Winter Classic will mark the 33rd outdoor game contested of the previous 32 being played in 19 had been played in football stadiums, 10 have been played in baseball stadiums, 2 at atop of golf courses, and 1 inside a soccer stadium. And the giant twin sign every time a Minnesota player hits a home run, it lights up. When every time the Wild scored, it lit up. And 53 length and feet, the world's largest mobile rink refrigeration unit, specially built for outdoor games, conducted by the NHL.
Are you done?
Next one. There's one more.
I have one thing to say.
Go ahead, Willie.
Hey, I thought the Wilds uniforms.
Oh, those were
They
awesome.
were tight,
Mhm.
very tight. I
They
like,
said "State of Hockey" on them.
they had the elbow pads. You know,
What are those? What are those?
Cranberry bars.
Oh,
You said you couldn't have one.
I have one. These are like the ones at Starbucks.
They are exact same.
Have you had
They're
this
awesome.
before, Ed?
Yes,
they-
gonorrhea.
They at the Winter Classic they sold out. They sold it out of outside of section 116. Booyah, a tradition in the upper Midwest. Braised short rib chicken thighs, root vegetables, simmered in beef, chicken, and oxtail broth, served straight from the kettle.
Yeah, that's big in. I think Green Bay. It's big in.
Yeah, I was thinking you probably would have had it.
Yeah, I have had it, and that was at Target. At Target Field.
At the Winter Classic, yeah.
I don't remember that when I was up there 2 years ago for baseball. I didn't see that.
I think they just did it for the Winter Classic because it's a hot soup type thing, and it was
Yeah,
negative
the
8
day
out.
I went there.
Is nap time over?
You've been to
I got
Target.
one more
You
thing.
spent the most time in this whole show on the Winter Classic. It's
Well,
crazy.
yeah.
And nobody watched it.
Yeah.
You could name the title of the show the Winter Classic, please.
And 300
He's still
ton
going.
is the capacity of the refrigeration trailer that was kept outside to keep the ice cold, which I didn't think they would still need to keep it cold.
they had to put heating blankets on it because otherwise, if it gets too cold, it
It'll
gets
crack.
chippy.
Yeah.
I heard it was delayed because they were warming it up, right?
Yep.
They were
Yeah,
warming
probably
up the ice.
in the intermissions, I'm guessing, because of the hot water being put on it. They probably had to.
Why was it delayed?
They had to warm up the ice.
That's what she said.
Anyway, Willie kicked us out today, and I have it in front of me. This is a 20th anniversary of one of the best college football teams in history of college football, Miami Hurricanes, 2001, with players like Clinton Portis, Najee Davenport, Willis McGahee, Frank
number
Gore.
two.
This is Clinton Portis, Najee Davenport, Willis McGahee, Frank Gore, and Jared Payton were the running backs.
Oh, those guys suck.
Andre Johnson, Jeremy Shockey,
Yeah.
Winslow. Also, Brian McKinney, remember the big lineman from Minnesota. Carlos Joseph, William Joseph. Who else? Vince Wilfork,
Ed Reed.
Ed Reed, Jonathan Vilma, Mike Rump, Entree Roll. That was a pretty good team. And the quarterback was Willie. You got it in front. You don't answer.
Yeah.
Who was the quarterback?
Miami.
His nickname was the Horse.
His last name kind of rhymes with it.
Ken
I have no idea.
Dorsey.
Ken
the
Dorsey.
Jets.
Niners quarterback he was.
Niners,
for,
yeah, Niners.
Yeah. So that was a 12-0 team.
They just blew out teams that
They had one
ranked
close
teams.
game with like Virginia Tech or something.
They
26-24 was.
West Virginia. Like I think that was a team that.
No.
Mike Vick was on.
It was
Vatech.
Vatech was
Vatech.
26-24.
Yeah. That was the
every other
closest thing they
game,
had.
Yeah, they won.
They just blew out teams.
Yeah,
I mean,
it was the average margin of victory was probably like 37, 35. It was crazy. So yeah, that was a tidbit Willie threw out there. So let's talk about a couple more people that died, which is crazy. Big thing to the Chicago area. Jeff Dickerson.
Jeff Dickerson.
Yep, the Bears beat reporter passed away this week. 44 years old, colon cancer. His wife died a couple years ago, and they leave an 11-year-old son.
Parker.
They raised over $1 million on GoFundMe.
I'll tell you where he's at right now.
Yeah.
Parker's Fund. He is at $1,999,000 or $1,999,000. Oh, Jesus, I can't even say this. Help me out here.
Just over $1 million.
Just at 1.1.
Okay.
1.1.
So $1.1 million raised for their son Parker. He was, I mean, being a Bear fan, I would listen to him. I would hear him all the time. He was a great beat reporter. I mean, for a guy 20 years in the Chicago area doing that job, which is crazy because a lot of guys move on and find different jobs. But he was he was very honest with stuff going on with the Bears. His opinion was very honest. I was a fan. I mean, obviously none of you guys are Bear fans, but you've listened to him many times.
Lots of times, you know.
Yeah, when you listen to ESPN Radio Chicago too, he's on with.
Yep, that's right.
All the time.
He chimes in on a lot of shows.
Yeah,
he used to do a weekend show on ESPN, the Mothership, with Hoodie.
Yes, he did.
He did.
Oh, okay, Jonathan.
So you want to hear some of the donations. So Obvious Shirts, which they're doing a bunch of JD shirts, 28,500. The Packers give 25,000. The Bears give 25,000. Dan and Tanya Schneider give 25,000. Jim Irsay 25,000. The Will family from Minnesota 10,000. The Jets 10,000. Jed York 10,000. Jeff Lurie 10,000. Adam Schefter 5,000. Reinsdorf family 5,000. Crane Kenny 5,000. Baltimore Ravens 5,000. Andy Dalton 5,000. Anthony Rizzo 5,000.
So you're saying this guy was well liked?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, everybody
Obviously,
liked this guy, and this poor kid, 11 years old, losing both of his parents. You know, his mom had melanoma. What in 2000? Like 2 years ago, 2019.
Yeah, 2 years ago.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys remember ever growing up with somebody who lost both their parents like that? I did. I went to elementary school. A girl lost both her parents. She turned out well, but she had a relative raise her.
Community raises a child, so I think that's what's going to happen.
They passed away in the same hospice room.
Yeah.
Oh.
2 years apart.
Yuck.
And he was talking about he wanted to get to the 28th of December because that was going to be his next chemo. He knew if he could get to that point, he was going to live. Then he was there. I forget who was in the room with him. He got the phone call. And they said, okay, we'll leave. He goes, no. You're going to stay here. And the nurse called and said, look, Jeff, we cannot give you that chemo treatment that you're looking for because it will kill you. One way or the other is what's going to happen here. And he was like very disappointed about it, obviously. But, this guy, when people call him, go, hey, how you doing? He would quick turn it around, go, hey, how's your son? I know he's in football tryouts or baseball tryouts right now. How's it going? He would try to flip it and turn it away from him as quick as he could. I mean, they were talking to Shefty today on ESPN 1000 with Sylvie and Waddle and Sylvie, right? And they were talking to him, and Schefter was like, we didn't hear a whole lot about it, at ESPN because he kept it so down low until he just couldn't. I think the last game he was on the road was Monday night game with the Bears.
Pittsburgh,
yeah. Or Pittsburgh. And yeah.
So, wow. So he was still traveling. And
he was still traveling, trying to do his job. So, I mean, this guy was, you really feel bad. It was just like, I got a little upset. They had Waddle on there that same time, and Waddle could not keep it together. They really had to help him.
He was
because they're really close.
He was 44 years old.
44. Yep.
It's crazy.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Sad.
And Charles Manson's still alive.
and the guy that ran over the parade.
Yeah.
That guy.
Yeah. It's crazy. Another NFL
icon.
Yeah, icon, giant. John Madden passed away this week. John Madden, everyone knows what John Madden is. If you're not a sports fan, or yes or no, if you say John Madden, they should know who he is. A lot of things he brought to NFL. I really realized this until I started watching things about him. He was the first, like one of the first guys to actually go to practice, like when he was on TV, go to practices and watch game film, like the actual teams, because he knew how to do that, and to actually interview guys before the game, so you can say, yeah,
talk to him earlier in the week.
I talked to him earlier in the week, and Aaron Rodgers said, he was celebrating Christmas with his family. We know it's a lie, but things like that. But he would do that stuff in tidbits, and then his boom and telestrator, and the best one I found was him describing how they're going to dump the water on the coach on the end of the game. What color they're going to use?
The bucket too.
The
I seen the
circle
bucket
it. Oh,
video.
look, that's ice because it's got to be kept wearing Miami and or whatever. And it's John Madden was he just made the video game industry explode. And with Madden, the football game,
He made Madden, and that made every other game.
is incredible. It's Madden football is by far the best sports game you're going to find of any game.
How about for sales? Has anybody ever checked into that? It's got to be
billions, probably.
No, but I mean like 10 times bigger than any other game.
It's got to be up there. I mean, Call of Duty and stuff.
That's the other one I was going to say. Is Call of Duty maybe,
but I bet Madden's got to be up.
Madden's probably got to be way more
Yeah,
than
it's
that.
been up for what 30 years now or something.
Yeah.
He was on the cover for the first 8 years.
I think it came out in '99, right? Was the first
I think so. But when they were having these meetings,
$7 billion in revenue.
That's like more than a lot of countries.
Mm-hmm.
So they were having these meetings, and they were saying, "Okay, we can do this with 7-on-7." He goes, "No, it's not going to work. You got to have 11-on-11. You got to make this," because he taught people about the game with this game as well. And they said, "Well, it's going to take a couple years." He goes, "You need to take a couple years. It needs to be 11-on-11. That's how it has to be here."
He wasn't going to put his name on it unless
No,
it was
he's not putting my
accurate.
name on it, and I forgot what percentage he got of the game, but
It's history.
Dude,
The
if
rest
it's,
is
if
history.
it's 0.001, he's still, made millions.
Do you know how the Madden Cruiser got started?
He wouldn't fly.
Yeah, he hated it.
He wouldn't fly, but how did the bus get going?
Through it, TV type thing.
They rented Dolly Parton's bus.
Oh yeah, we saw the bus.
Oh yeah, they showed it driving.
No, we went in the bus at the Hall of Fame.
We did.
Yeah,
his original.
The Dolly Parton one.
The original Madden Cruiser. Yeah,
cool.
But
it was like an old.
Was
It
it when
was
we were-
an old looked
was
like
it
an old tour bus.
during Hall of Fame week.
Yeah, we went in
I
that
can't
bus.
really think.
Jeez. See what happens when you bleach your hair.
Sorry, those Eagles fans brainwashed me while I was there.
How far down did he get in the roots there?
I don't know.
But there was a couple things when you went on the Madden bus, and not too many people got invited on there. There's a couple things you couldn't do on there. Was he didn't like people to use the bathroom, and if he did let you use the bathroom, the one thing you weren't supposed to do,
take a dump,
was number 2.
You know the only person that actually used the bathroom on the bus? Nicolas Cage.
Nope. Wayne Gretzky took.
Oh, yeah, that's who it was, Wayne
Wayne
Gretzky.
Gretzky took a
That's
number
different
2 on that bus.
Yeah, Wayne Gretzky. That's who it was.
Yeah, but he probably had that thing.
Nicolas
bronze-
Cage, Wayne Gretzky,
I
both.
was thinking of a different.
They look a lot
different
alike.
stat.
I remember when
A different bus.
you remember when Wayne Gretzky found the Bible and then he found all those artifacts.
Is that the national?
He stole,
Remember when he
when
was
he stole the
Vegas all
Constitution?
drunk with Elizabeth
Yeah.
Shue?
Yeah.
Wayne Gretzky, man, he had a tough life.
Always in a lot of action movies.
Oh, but he was trapped in paradise with John Lovitz and I'll go in B movies now.
Yeah. So anything, Eric, on John Madden?
Well, I mean, where do you start? The guy, he made football, just exciting, entertaining. You saw his passion for it, and you kind of, you had it too. I mean, just the way he would draw things up, and they'll get the whiteboard out, and bam, all his big, like, he just had so much passion. And this, what you said about the getting to know the players before the game and stuff, and like the broadcasters didn't do that until it was Madden and Summerall. In fact, they would have meetings with a lot of the top players and the coaches the day before the game. So it just brought so much more personality to the sport, I think. And Madden was a huge part of it.
he legitimized Fox too when they got in the business. Remember, Fox was the 4th TV station, and then they made that huge contract where they signed.
Yeah, him and Summerall,
and him and
Madden.
Summerall came over from CBS,
Mhm.
and it was like, oh, this is gonna be legit, you know. And it obviously,
Bradshaw came into the studio, and
Yeah.
originally it was James Brown.
Yep,
he was their first. I think their
Yeah.
first guy in the studio.
Probably got a brand new bag.
Not
No,
that
not
James
the-
Brown.
oh,
James
okay.
Brown. No, Nicholas Cage. Oh, wait, I'm sorry, James Brown.
I'm thinking of the Rock.
Vin
gonna get
Diesel.
you
Oh, wait, wrong one.
Jeez. You got me stuck on Nicolas Cage now.
No, was it James Brown or the dad from Just the 10 of Us? I don't
Just
remember.
the 10 of us.
I don't remember. I'm not sure. Christ. You got something else there?
I do. I got a little tidbit here. When the GOAT meets the GOAT. So the final Super Bowl broadcast for Madden and Summerall was Tom Brady's first of 7 Super Bowl wins. Was it? And so when was this?
2004.
Yeah, it's Super Bowl XXXVI, whatever that is.
2001.
2001.
2001.
That's 6.
No, it's not 24.
XX,
because Super Bowl
oh,
50 was
VI,
5 years
26.
ago.
Yeah,
26. Yep.
Yeah.
36.
36.
Yeah,
36,
36. Yeah, because Super Bowl 50 was 5 years ago or so.
So it was 80. Would you say 04?
I said 2004. I
No,
think it was. Or
it was
2003. his first bowl?
2001 when Brady won.
And they upset the heavily favored Rams in that Super Bowl. In
Oh,
all,
wow.
Madden and Summerall worked 8 Super Bowls together, 5 on CBS. That's the most ever for a broadcast duo. So
Was before these guys? When did they start doing this? Was it in the 80s? I'm
Yeah,
gonna
because
guess
they called. I remember they called the catch game.
Yeah.
I'm almost positive it was those two. I know Pat Summerall was there.
So that was what, 87?
Yeah, and he quit coaching in the late 70s, right?
I got a quiz for you here. real
I was
quick.
gonna.
Did he quit coaching when he was 52, 47,
69,
or 42?
42.
42.
Yeah, because he
was young.
He got hired when he was 32.
Yeah, he was young.
Yeah, he was a young, good-looking whippersnapper with those pork chops.
Right?
Yeah.
Was there any? I don't know. I mean, I guess you'd say like maybe Dandy Don or one of those guys announcing that was like so influential, like over the top.
Howard
like
Cosell.
Yeah, Cosell. Yeah, he would be the one guy. You're
Turn
right.
out the lights.
Yeah,
Dandy
I mean,
Don.
there was only a couple though, and then he came along and was
very
charismatic. How many guys have comedians copy them and make a career off of
Yeah,
it?
yeah.
So he made Kelly Endo a millionaire.
Yeah.
When you
for
think
sure.
about it.
And he coined the term cankles.
Yeah.
Right.
11 drumsticks on a freaking turkey.
Turducken.
Turducken. He made that
Turducken.
guy a millionaire.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because the guy was
It's
only
good,
selling
too.
like
You ever had it?
The
No.
guy was only
Oh, it's
selling
good.
2,000 a year. Once he brought that turducken down in New Orleans, he was selling $20,000 a year. He had to hire people to make these things.
Yeah, we got
Is
one.
that what they keep showing him carving with his bare hands? They keep showing that
That
highlight.
wasn't an original turkey. I think that was
Yeah.
just too. That was when
Yeah.
he first did it. It was on with Al Michaels, right in the booth.
Yeah, they didn't have a knife, so he starts carving it with his
So
bare hands.
he actually did Monday Night Football with Al Michaels for a long time.
Oh yeah, yeah, a long
They
time.
jumped ship and they went to Sunday Night Football.
Yes. Yep.
In the
believe so,
turkey thing started, I think it was just 2 drumsticks with the 2 top players.
Yep.
And
then
then
he
it
bought
was
6
like,
leg
yeah, now
turkey.
there's just piles of
It was
drumsticks.
like 11 of them.
I think
at
it was
one time.
11.
Come on, bring because he would bring the referees in.
Yeah.
That was a big thing. I remember reading that story about him. It was pretty awesome. But they were talking about that telestrator. He's like, he's like putting a line there. Like, you can't put that line there because it would be too distracting. He goes, no, it won't. You gotta have that on there.
He would just draw all these lines and plays, and
Yeah.
this guy should go here.
Well,
and
my favorite video of him doing that is the dad bucket and the mother bucket.
that was
had the baby bucket.
Yeah,
That's what you're talking about. Yeah.
That was great.
The bucket for the tossing on the coach after the game. I don't know what Super.
Well, he was, if you've seen the early footage, he was doing it like on a whiteboard.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then I'm guessing he went in, he's like, you gotta make me something video way, and whatever
Now
he's
it's-
saying. Boom.
Now it's on a Microsoft Surface. You just
Yeah.
circle it, goes right to TV.
Dude, it's
all
cool.
easy. Telestrator was John Madden's thing, man. He was
Mm-hmm.
he was an innovator in many ways, and he's least known for coaching. And he won a Super Bowl, correct?
Yes, in
Won.
1976.
Yeah, with the Raiders. So he actually is a Super Bowl champ. Is he in the Hall of Fame as a coach?
Yes.
Would they beat the Vikings
Yes,
or
coach.
something?
Yeah.
That was his
As a
big
contributor.
going in as a coach.
Yeah, he's in there as a coach. Yep.
He's-
Oh, is
and
he?
he
I
got-
thought it was as a contributor.
I think he got as a broadcaster too. Like it's not
Well,
the fourth.
they call it a contributor because of the game too. They said it was because of the video game, coaching, and broadcasting all in one.
Because when did he go in the Hall of Fame?
He is.
Probably. Yeah, if
He might have went twice.
He might have. I think. Yeah, I think he
don't
might
know.
be a coach. I can't remember. I don't know.
I don't know about coach, but yeah.
But
He was in a few Super Bowls. I mean, he was in the number 2 against the Packers.
Yeah.
They got there.
He coached that game.
Didn't he
I don't
coach
think
that
he coached
game?
that team. No, that was before his time.
If he quit, you just said he coached like 10 years. He would have been.
But 72, he started probably to 82 or.
I thought you said he quit in 78 or something.
But that Super Bowl was in 68 or 69. That's what it was.
yeah,
because that Super Bowl.
I thought he coached.
Yeah, that was not Madden.
I don't know.
Oh, now I'm gonna have to look it up and call you guys all jerks.
I'm gonna guess it was Herb Adderley. I don't know.
Herb Adderall.
I'll look it up while you guys are discussing other stuff.
We're gonna discuss getting.
Do you know who his best childhood friend was?
69 to 78. So let's see.
68 would have been the Super Bowl though. 67 was the Packers.
Championship in 77. Let's see.
Because 67 was the first Super Bowl, right?
Yeah.
66.
AFL championship 67, so he lost it. If he was Super Bowl champ,
66 was the first Super Bowl.
Yeah, so he lost the AFL championship.
Yeah.
Not the NFL.
what does it say? No, they were AFL champions.
What year?
67.
Oh yeah, then if you go, that would have been it. Then he did coach that team.
Let's see.
I don't think he coached that team though.
Hold on here. He's linebacker coach in 67 for the Raiders.
Okay, he wasn't coach yet then.
Named Raiders head coach on February 4th, 1969 at age 32.
Then he was
Reached
not the
and
coach
lost-
of that game.
They reached and lost 5 AFC championship games in 7 years.
Against the
He was
Steelers.
the
It
coach.
was always the Steelers.
The
So
Immaculate
John
Reception.
Roush.
The
John Roush
Immaculate
was the
Reception was
coach.
against him. Huh?
John Roush.
Oh, John Roush.
Yeah, he.
Yep.
You know what?
And
He lost
he
to
was
Kansas
right after
City in
Al Davis.
69 when Kansas City went on to.
They lost. They beat the
No,
Vikings.
they had to beat.
They beat the Vikings.
Yeah.
Len Dawson.
Yep.
So, well, that's John Madden.
Oh man, he had some crazy stuff during his career. One of the best pictures they show him is like getting carried off the field. It's like Ted Hendricks, that
Yeah.
monster. They
Yeah.
always show that
Mhm.
picture.
Yep.
Yeah, legend.
So,
Here's his career. I'm just looking at regular season. First AFL West, first AFC, then it went to AFC West, second AFC West, first AFC West, first AFC West, first AFC West, first AFC West, first, second. All winning seasons. Never had a losing year.
Jesus.
103 and 32.
He's in the Hall of Fame for coaching. I bet
He's
he is.
got to be. I mean,
I'm pretty sure that's what it is.
One of those.
here's the records. It lost to Kansas City AFL Championship. Lost to Baltimore AFC Championship. Lost to Pittsburgh Division. Lost to the Dolphins AFC Championship. That's when Dolphins went undefeated that year.
72?
Yeah, 73, 72.
That'd be 73.
72, yeah.
Yeah, 73. Yeah.
Lost to Pittsburgh AFC Championship. Lost to Pittsburgh AFC Championship. Super Bowl champions. Lost to Denver AFC Championship.
Yeah.
So he's the Packers.
He's like Jim Kelly. Or no, John or
Only 2 games where he didn't.
Marv Levy type guy.
Yeah, only two years where he didn't go to like a championship
Out of his
10
career.
10 or 11 years.
So 8 out of 10.
Crazy.
Yeah.
He for coaching, he's in the Hall of Fame.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
He should be with that, right?
I think he's in for broadcasting too.
Dude, those are like
It says
Vince
in
Lom-
recognition of his coaching career, Madden was inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame in 2006. And then it goes on talked about as he was a broadcaster and yeah.
Okay, so
It might be both.
John Lynn just
I
thanked.
think it's a combination of all of them.
oh, no problem, John. Thank you. It was a good time.
That was a great tournament.
Good tournament. You gotta tell Bosco to lighten up though, man. He yelled at me like he didn't want to let me in. He wanted to know where I got my pass from. I'm asking for my money back.
Bosco?
Yeah.
Is he all red?
Yeah, he was like, who'd you get this from? I go, I got it from John Lynn. Who's a sponsor? I go, Paco. Oh, okay.
He almost didn't let me in with my picture thing, but he looked at all
So,
weird and
how
was
was
like,
But
it?
John, it was a good time. Thank you.
His dollar.
Yeah. Let's close the show out tonight. Let's get it. Oh, I'm sorry. What do you got?
Dad jokes.
Oh,
Oh, go ahead.
bad jokes.
Go
You
ahead.
ready?
Yeah,
okay,
go ahead.
here we go. Why didn't Han Solo enjoy his steak dinner?
Why?
It was chewy.
Wah, wah, wah.
Why don't pirates take a bath before they walk the plank?
I don't know.
They just wash up on shore. Why do you never see elephants hiding in trees?
Their mass.
Because they're so good at it.
That's a pretty good joke, actually.
It is.
What?
Because you never see them because they're so good at
good at
hiding.
Oh. Okay.
Did you hear about the racing snail who got rid of his shell?
Slug.
He thought it would make him faster, but it just made him sluggish.
Yeah, sluggish. I seen that one coming.
A turtle is crossing a road when he's mugged by two snails. When the police ask him what happened, the shaken turtle replies, I don't know. It happened so fast. Did you hear about the guy who froze to death at the drive-in?
Mm-mm.
He went to see closed for the winter.
I don't know. Oh,
The drive-in's
yeah.
closed for the winter.
Yeah, we used to have a drive-in.
Yeah. We all know about Murphy's Law. Anything can go wrong, will go wrong. But have you heard of coleslaw?
Coleslaw.
It's thinly sliced cabbage.
It's terrible.
I think I've said this one before. When does a joke become a dad joke?
When Willie tells it.
Yeah. We said the same thing too last time.
When it becomes apparent.
Oh, yeah, I
Yeah.
did. Yeah, same thing. That's our same shtick.
And one thing for this day in sports history, your favorite coach,
Mike Ditka?
Frank Reich, one of your favorite.
Oh, Frank
coaches.
Reich, sorry.
1993, what did he do?
Game brought the Bills back from 30 down or whatever at halftime
Against?
to beat the Warren Moon led
Oilers.
Houston Oilers.
Houston Oilers.
That was
Slash
back-
Titans.
Man, remember when the Packers played the Oilers?
I don't.
It was just an old joke.
Oh.
That was my dad joke.
In 1998, Michigan wins its first national championship since 1948. In 2003, Ohio State wins its first national championship in
And it won
34 years.
and it won 75 cents then.
So
they're like the Yankees.
That's all I got.
I got something over here. This NFL wide receiver has the talent of a first ballot Hall of Famer, but an attitude of a 7-year-old who just got his Xbox taken away. Who is it?
I saw that Antonio Brown.
It's funny.
All right, we about wrapping up.
Yep.
Can I tell one quick story?
Go ahead.
All right.
Is this your closing thought too?
Yeah, this will be my closing thought. And
Okay.
everything.
Here we go.
So I had a close contact on Wednesday. You guys know about it, but one of my relatives, I don't want to use his real name, so I'll just call him Tromboner Brent.
Yeah, baby.
So he spent like 2 hours at my house. We were taking pictures. It's all close contact.
What kind of pictures?
Yeah, they were all naked, but so I wasn't wearing a condom. So it was, for close contact. Anyways, I don't know where we're going with this. So anyway, so he gets home. And then he's like, yeah, my throat was really scratchy after leaving there. So I had a test kit left over because I used they come in pairs. So we used one for Christmas. We're like, here, use our test kit, the next morning. Yep, he's got COVID. So we gave him the box of 2. So it's like, oh, great. Now I got to I couldn't go to the basketball games and see John Lynn, and his, dressed up nice and everything. And so he's got a roommate. So he's got the test kits out. He goes, well, you better, check yourself to make sure you're not positive. So he's kind of a hippie guy. He just left his old test kit out on the counter used. So his roommate came, instead of using the new test kit, used a positive COVID test, put it in his nose, scrubbed it down, and then checked to see if he was positive.
Came back negative.
That's the shit I deal with in my family now.
I think you say you dropped trout to try it.
Yeah. What kind of situation are you living in where you use an open test kit that's laying on the ground or on the table? Must be the one.
We are doomed.
Must have been a massive loogie hanging off the end of it.
Dude, it's ridiculous. I get the call. I'm like, you got to be kidding me.
Well,
This-
hey,
this is not
if you're
happening.
living together, you probably already got it, so might as well just for sure get it.
Not necessarily.
And that gentleman had multiple people over, in like the 3 days after that.
Super spreader event.
Yeah. So now there's going to be people all over that are got COVID. They probably got over to Bradley's house. So, yeah.
They're
So
here
that,
now.
when you hear those things, I had to have my wife repeat it to me like 3 times because I couldn't believe it. I was like, I'm missing something here. No, that's what they're that dumb.
Eric, any closing thoughts?
Well, just when you get your hopes up with the Milwaukee Bucks, they lose to the 7-28 Detroit Pistons tonight.
Yeah,
115 to
baby.
106. So
yeah,
I
man,
guess
Detroit championship.
Yeah,
That could be one
Yeah,
of
I
your
mean,
top moments of 2022.
exactly. Exactly. So I mean, you can't have it all. The Badgers beat Purdue tonight, and for that to happen, the Bucks had to take one on the chin, I guess. So,
Both of them on the chin.
yeah, both chins. That's all I got.
Jason, any closing thoughts?
Yeah. So Michael Gartner owned the Iowa Cubs for 22 years until last week when he sold them to Diamond Holdings. On his final day, he surprised employees with checks, $2,000 for every year they'd been with the team. He gave away a total of $600,000 to 23 full-time workers.
Wow. Nice.
That's cool.
That's very nice. Good story.
Yep.
That's awesome.
That's good as that Ken Rosenthal getting fired for ESPN
Yeah.
or from Major League Baseball Network for
Talking crap about Robbie.
yeah, talking bad about the commissioner. Fire him.
That solves all the
America.
problems.
I never liked his bow tie anyways.
That's all the same people calling Trump a tyrant. Anyway,
Yeah, that's true too.
Go ahead, Willie. You're closing.
What's going on this week? It's kind of disappointing, I mean, last week of regular football and fantasy's done, and I guess I do have dart ball to look forward to. So, and then, hey, I think we're playing golf with Hop next Saturday.
I might not be able to. So
Uh-oh,
I
what?
told him I gotta find what's going on.
All right.
Golf?
It's simulator golf.
Simulated.
I'll go.
No.
Why?
It's at a bar, so you can't go.
It simulates them good.
Oh, speaking of a bar, I stopped in at Gordy's the other night during angry hour. Oh, it was horrible.
A lot of yelling.
I usually go during happy hour where it's fun. Oh, no, it was awful. Shake a day, they threw the dice at me.
No, they didn't. Did they really? Oh. Any? You're done, Willie?
I'm done. Yeah.
My closing thought is congratulations, Devin Hester, being named to for a finalist for the Hall of Fame. Let's see if he gets in. It might be a road trip to Canton if he gets in, guys.
Benchwarmers to Canton, Ohio.
Did you see any reason why he shouldn't be elected? I mean, far and away the greatest returner ever, right?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know the criteria.
Maybe Billy White Shoes Johnson or something.
He changed the game, the games, did a lot of things that many returners don't do. So
a lot of records to break.
Great thing too is I remember being at a game where he returned one. He like dropped it bounced around for a while. He picked it up, ran like 3 different directions, and he was gone.
Next time he's in the end zone. Next time you look, he's standing in the end zone.
It's like I'm looking up at the board. I'm like, what the hell happened?
Talk about returners. How about that kid from Utah State?
What happened?
He was pretty good.
Was he
from Utah?
Yeah, the kid that had the kickoff.
Oh
return.
yeah, the big long. Yeah.
I seen a thing and it said this man will be drafted by the Patriots in April.
Yeah, maybe. So
He's
is that
like-
it? Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Eric.
No, I was gonna say that kid's like 170 pounds that returned that kickoff.
Soaking wet.
Soaking wet. Yeah.
There was almost an immaculate reception. Was that last
There
night?
was one.
Yeah.
What
And
game
The
was that?
lineman caught it after
In the Rose
tackle
Bowl,
got
wasn't it?
smoked. And no, it was the Packer game.
Yeah,
The center caught it and
Dude,
ran
he
like
went
20
like
yards.
20 yards.
He was determined to score.
Oh, I was
It would've
hoping
been awesome he would have
yeah.
scored.
He was like carrying guys on his back, like swatting them like flies.
You could tell
know?
he was like in his head it was the Lady Gaga. What was that song? I'm on the edge of glory. And he's in his head. He's turning his legs.
There's like 2 guys on each
Is it Lady
leg.
Gaga? Am I right with that?
Yeah.
I'm on the edge.
Yeah.
So
It's like-
so Rogers is on now. He's got a beanie on his head
Oh, Jesus Christ.
and a Masters like a Augusta, a Masters sweater.
Yeah, because he can get tickets for that. We can't even get those tickets.
Okay, let's get out of this.
All right,
Let's get out of Twilight
All
Zone.
right, guys.
So once again, with the
Unreal.
Basement Benchwarmers podcast, thank you, Eric, Ed, Jace, and Willie. Once again, Happy New Year, everybody. Hope to have prosperous and safe New Year in 2022. And we will see you guys next week. Have a good one.
I hate goodbyes.
Sorry, folks, park's closed.
What happened? I blacked out.
Because we did something today that no one thought we could do, including us. So we're going out, we're celebrating, and we're going to rub it in this city's face. I swear I've seen a lot of stuff in my life, but that was awesome. Bye, Felicia.
Kids, there's Big Ben and there's Parliament.
I'd give them more buys and highs.
Every new beginning comes from some other beginning's end. It feels so good. It feels so good. It feels so good. It feels so good.